thought they had banished us forever. But now, finally, we have returned.
And indeed, returned we have to Star Wars. For, I don't know if this is the last time, since there's still Clone Wars, Rebels, and Mandalorian, but probably we'll only do Mandalorian because Mandalorian, well, is the only one that really has any, like, bearing, I guess, since it's live action. All the others, well, Ahsoka shows up. You only really get Ahsoka if you've seen Clone Wars. We'll just put a pin in that for now. We're going to be taking a long break from Star Wars and doing some other stuff, like, say, Ash vs. the Evil Dead for the month of October, or the rest of the month of October, up until Wheel of Time comes out. And we'll also be doing, and then we'll do Wheel of Time. And then after Wheel of Time, we will finish up the series of Legend of the Seeker. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to do House of the Dragon next year when that comes out. Don't know when that's coming out, but let me welcome the chat. Hello, Jab Slan. Nice to see you. Lollipop, Lord of Gazuko. Nice to see you. Yasuko Ugao. Nice to see you. Orange Rabbit. Sub. Hello, Becca. Always a pleasure. Anyway, let me bring in my guests. First off, I think that we should probably get, let's do this one first, Skids.
And now, I think it's time we gave that filthy, slobbering mongrel of yours his shot! Attack! Rapid fire flurry!
Yeah, that's about me right now.
Yeah, pretty much. And we've got a boasting his glorious kindergartner level profile pic. I felt like this was appropriate for our friend.
Why? Because the movie was written by monkeys.
Why are you, an octopus smoking a cigar?
Jellyfish.
Always a pleasure, lol liar. No, I love you all. You hate me. There's a difference.
Yeah, Becca, you hate everyone.
No,
I know you hate me, and we've never spoken to each other before.
No, I think it's the chat and my guests that hate me. I mean,
of course it's up. Never mind.
Yeah, Becca hates everyone. So
okay. Nah, she likes her. She likes her bard. Sorry.
Am I muted?
No. Larry, sorry.
Because I've been trying to say something the last 5 minutes. Just that it is always a pleasure. He takes pleasure out of inflicting things on you.
Yeah. Like that amazing blow-up doll snake in the Silver Chair Air review.
Oh, that. I wasn't sure what you were going to mention. For half a second, I thought you were talking about the snake in... which of those films was it?
Silver Chair, I think.
No, in the trilogy, sequel trilogy. There's a snake somewhere that gets healed.
Oh yeah, that's in 3. That's in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Bard is exempt from all the hate must always flows both ways. Done. It's a truism that I made up.
Well,
I only hate you for. Well, and I finally wrote it. I just said it would take a lot of work for me to get it good. It to be any way, shape, or form good.
Yeah, I mean, she's the queen of almost of literally everything, so she gets to make up any truism she wants.
Indeed. Well, and bringing in our last guest for the moment. We're going to be getting some more later on, and we'll just kind of cycle through and let people who kind of feel talked out or need a nap or whatever bow out. But for now, let's bring in Von Lustra.
My old enemy. You cannot hide from me.
Finally, my ultimate opponent.
The sequel trilogy.
The sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Finally.
Shut up.
Though, Lolly, I just want to let you know that the Dragon Blaster is available for purchase on Amazon if you want to read it. So your Dunn's mecha work is available for anybody to buy.
Yep, I bought it. It hasn't come in the post yet, but I bought it.
Crazy for you to Maple. I'm thinking about my nap, Becca. I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Shut up. Whatever it was.
This.
Yeah. Shut up. I don't. No. I'm gonna take a walk. Shut up about naps already.
More like taking a swim.
Just shut up and die, brightness. No offense.
Oh joy, the whole batch. I'm so excited. I hate you all. I'll be here.
Yeah, Tarek is the life of the party.
Yeah, he is. Though he did bow out of Rise of Skywalker partway through.
Yeah, because he's a selfish jerk.
He was in it previous. So.
He was in a mood too.
Yeah. He'd also watched it with us on commentary. So I'll upload both to Rumble eventually. I'm gonna upload everything to Rumble over the next few weeks. Hopefully, I'm gonna be at least putting out one per day.
Okay, can you post the one on Phantom Menace?
I've already done that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
the prequel is already there. Yeah. That one's not, but the other two are.
So Phantom Menace, I lost the download, or it didn't download properly because I have that little like paper thing where it says like download. I just don't have the MP3 file.
Okay.
So
that's sad.
Yeah, it was long and it was kind of bloated. It was mostly just the kind of two prequel fans kind of saying it makes sense that there's no exchange rate on Tatooine.
Was it Wolf and?
Yeah.
Wolf and Neff.
Yeah. Well, I like them, but it's just like there's a lot of like bringing in inferences and outside material, which was kind of like
basically headcanon.
A little bit, yeah. But it was, but I do like them. They're great people. It's just that sometimes with Star Wars, it's like, can we please just focus on whether the movie in itself makes sense rather than bring in the after the fact fixes that George needed to make this story make sense.
It's one of the pitfalls to Star Wars nerddom. Another being that people get really, really, really worked up if you have even a slightly different reaction to where the sequel thinks. People will go, "No, it's not. No, it doesn't." And just calm down already. I'm tired.
Yeah. If that was happening in our Rise of Skywalker stream, I think that you were bringing up kind of the difference between bad and stupid. What would you say is the difference? Because I hold both them to be pretty much synonymous.
Maybe I'm not totally sure. Maybe stupid is like a subset of bad. Maybe what I meant is things that are actively offensive.
Well, what about like something that's stupid but in a good way? Something like, I don't know, Monty Python, like Quest Holy Grail. Like you could say it's stupid, but
like a lot of comedies do things that we would say are silly and absurd, and they lean into the absurdity for comedic effect. So you can say what's happening is dumb, but it's not badly written.
Yeah. I would guess maybe not call that stupid, but call it silly. If you want to be really split hairs, you could call that silly rather than stupid.
Yes, silly is probably a better way to phrase it.
Opinion. The Force Awakens was pretty good. I don't know.
We respectfully disagree with you.
Yeah, no offense.
Yeah, we gotta say, The Force Awakens is not a good movie.
I mean, it's the best out of the three, but it's only
That's not saying a lot.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm not even sure it is.
Okay. Please explain what your criteria would be for that judgment, since I'm really fascinated to hear that.
Well, let me put it this way. Here's my issue with The Force Awakens. It's that there's this it's like the problem is like an overarching one of the premises. It's not within the individual details of the story, it's the overarching premise. It doesn't make any sense. That's my problem. The resistance to what? Isn't the Republic in power? I'm confused. I'm reading from my notes here. Why is it the resistance? How did the First Order have the power to blow up 5 planets? They're just this terrorist organization. And how can Luke be a myth? It's only been like 30, 40 years. That's not that long. And Han Solo is still alive and walking and talking and squawking.
Well, what I would say, Count, is that sure, I do agree that Force Awakens should have done that stuff, but it doesn't mean that the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker couldn't have tried to like do some leg room and try to fix that, like try to explain it. Sure, so it would have been bad that it was done after the fact, but still better than nothing.
Yeah,
Well, I think the problem with The Force Awakens is that it basically torches the previous plot, and it shoots itself in both legs where the world building and plot premise is concerned. So that issue carries over into the next 2 movies, but the next 2 movies don't try to fix it.
Yeah,
no.
And if they did, and in the cases where they do kind of try to fix it or add something to the world building, it just ends up being bullshit. They can't do right.
They just oh, sorry. Go for it, Blarian.
Oh, thank you. There's a couple of the, I don't want to say half-hearted because I don't know how hard the people were actually trying, but not terribly successful attempts in Revenge of the Sith. That Palpatine's wait, let me see if I understand this. Palpatine's ghost, he went and cloned Snoke, and he's the one behind the First Order. Is that more or less correct?
No, it's not Palpatine's ghost. It's actually Palpatine.
So how did he not die?
Yeah,
Never explained.
Yeah, it's not explained. I know what this is inspired by. So if you want an explanation, I do have one.
Yeah, it's basically a crappy adaptation of Dark Empire, where the Emperor comes back in a cloned clone of his body. His spirit latched onto a clone of his body. Most people hate that.
So after 1983 and Return of the Jedi, there was kind of a dearth of Star Wars content.
Oh yeah.
There were quite a few novels and comics, but there was nothing really groundbreaking until like 91, where we had the Thrawn trilogy of novels and the Dark Empire comics, which sort of revitalized the expanded universe into what it eventually became before it was decanonized in 2014. Mm-hmm. So Dark Empire, it takes place about 6 years after Return of the Jedi, and the main plot is that Palpatine was able to send his spirit out of his body and across space into a clone body on another planet that he had prepared in advance.
The major problem is that the clones suffer from serious decay over time.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, his power is so great that his clone bodies begin to decay, and he has to swap them out every now and again.
Yeah.
That's so annoying. I hate that. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, but at least it took place. Oh, I'm sorry. You finish.
I just said I had to do that 20 times myself. carry on.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, at least that was like 91, correct? That
That
was
was in 91, yeah.
well, at least even before the Phantom Menace, where it was established that Vader was the chosen one. But
Yeah,
here,
so the thing about Palpatine returning, I'm opposed to Palpatine returning in any way, shape, or form.
I mean,
after
yeah, I
Return
agree
of
with
the Jedi.
that.
Even let's say that you even set aside the chosen one. Darth Vader's redemption is pretty flimsy when you just look at it as it appears in the movies, because he doesn't have any moral change of heart. He does it because he has some sort of familial attachment to Luke. So the way he gains repentance or penance, if you will, is that he is able to defeat and destroy Palpatine, thus preventing the suffering that he caused from continuing. And he is willing to lay down his own life to do it. Bringing Palpatine back makes this part completely moot. And when you add on the context of the Phantom Menace and the Chosen One, it just becomes even worse. Because
Yeah.
now that is cheapened.
Can I just
Now,
quickly?
with Dark Empire, I can at least cut it some slack in that it didn't know the Chosen One was going to be a thing. I cannot cut the same slack to this movie.
Yeah, and Goldman made a video
wait.
defending Palpatine's return, saying it doesn't ruin Vader's sacrifice.
Blair had something to say.
Can I just quickly call attention to a couple of things in the chat? Tushar Joglikar. If you don't confirm the body, it's fair game.
That's a good point.
Yeah, even though you vaporized twice.
And Axela, don't you just hate it when your body dies and your soul gets shot across space into a new body? SMH, annoying as hell, man.
Yeah.
So
The funny thing is that it's not actually built up to in any way, either in Dark Empire or in this.
mhm.
And it manages to somehow bungle the, at least in the comics, quite simple mechanism through which this happens.
At least Dark Empire had actual explanation.
Yeah. So
And a mechanic through which it was circumvented. It's a
Mhm.
bullshit mechanic, but
Mhm.
it is a mechanic.
So before we kind of go any further, I do need to, like, these have been up on the screen for a little bit, but I do want to go over it. Let's kind of, what I would like to do is kind of avoid minutia details, other than kind of like, I want to just do like quick fire, like some stuff at the beginning. I'm okay with that, but let's kind of just keep that to a minimum. Like, why are they using these stupid paper bombers instead of Y-wings? We'll talk about that in a second. Let's keep interruptions to a minimum. We're all passionate people, and we all hate these movies.
Yep.
I don't.
Okay, you think that they're terrible quality, but you don't loathe them like we do.
Something like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
And let's, like, whenever like you say something, let's kind of try to avoid like the no, yes it is, no it's not. Let's kind of like, if there's a disagreement, the second person, how about the second person asks, what do you mean by what do you mean in? Does that work as something that will kind of help things?
Sure.
Avoid that
Yeah.
problem.
Sure.
And then just the most important, let's just have some fun ripping into these movies.
Rip and tear
Until
until
Glorify.
it is done.
Exterminatus preparatus.
Let's glorify them. I thought we were all like screaming fans here. Did I make a mistake?
Yes.
Bother.
Yeah. But ultimately, like with Palpatine, I did have to say use a clip that I quite like using.
Are you two still living?
I got this. Since we just referenced Doom, why don't we one day watch the Doom movie with that stars Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Sure, I'd be down to make White suffer. I also kind of want to do They didn't collect Palpatine dog tags. Yeah, that sums it up. Yeah. Alrighty. So the story of the sequels. What story?
Yeah, by the way, this I think I should change my avatar into something more appropriate.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
I am just screaming in agony.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, the plot. Well, I guess it's kind of a plot since it's just plot stolen from plagiarized plot.
Yeah.
Plot points
Yeah.
are, but is it actual plot, or is it just plot points that are stolen?
I guess
Actually,
I would say ideas are stolen, like the Jason and Jaina story from the EU, Dark Empire story, and the Starkiller base is kind of just
the Death
a
Star.
just the
Yeah,
Death Star.
it's basically they took a bunch of ideas that were either from the original trilogy, Dark Empire, or an overarching story in the EU.
Not to mention,
about,
they also stole
Han
Star
and
Killer's
Leia's
name.
kids.
Sorry,
And
you
then
were both
they
talking.
all sort of mishmash them together into this abominable Sith spawn horror show
Yep.
of a story.
Yeah. They even stole Star Killer's name from the character from The Force Unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that could also be from the original drafts of A New Hope, where the
Yeah.
main
Yeah.
character was a fellow named Anakin Starkiller.
Who cares? It's all the same.
so
That
Kylo
is true.
Ren
What?
is Darth Vader light as an emo teenager.
Yeah.
That's characters though, not plot. Sorry.
Yeah. Except Kylo Ren's not even a teenager.
Yeah, he's 30.
I know, but he basically that's what he looks like and acts like. So
Basically, he has some measure of psychosis and clear bipolar.
Yeah, and remarkably immature and incompetent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think, like, to talk about, like, the sequel trilogy as a whole, basically how it works is broken start with The Force Awakens, compounding on the problems and adding more problems in The Last Jedi, and then just, like, we give up. We have run out of ideas. We're just going to throw crap at the screen with Rise of Skywalker.
Considering the hack job editing that is in The Rise of Skywalker, I can definitely believe it. Not to mention the atrociously fast pacing.
Yeah.
Also, like, did you know that at one point the Millennium Falcon, there are 2 Millennium Falcons on screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we just watched that, and it's just like, okay, when they're flying through those, like, pillars, there are 2 Millennium Falcons. They're, like, flying, like, one atop the other. It's really hilarious.
Yeah, like a mirror. It's kind of like a reflection from a mirror. Unless there's coincidentally another YT 1300 mod freighter that's on top of them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Are we going?
speaking of, would you guys like to know that the planet-destroying Star Destroyers from Rise of Skywalker are just copied and pasted Rogue One models?
Rogue One models?
Yeah. They're
Oh.
Star Destroyer models that were used in Rogue One, copied and pasted across the screen.
So here's a question. Should we try to do a synopsis of the story?
I think that everybody has watched them, so I don't know if that's necessary.
Yeah,
I mean, because I'm not
I don't even know how you could make a synopsis for this.
because I'm not sure. I'm not always sure what happened.
So I found it right there. So that is a massive editing mistake. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they could have animated this. This could only be done through editing.
Is that the reflection one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst part is
kind
it's
of
not even
reminds-
a mirror. It's not even a mirror. There's no mirror there. It's just there's 2 Millennium Falcons in the same shot.
It kind of reminds me of how Finn loses his guns in between scenes in The Phantom Menace, except it's the opposite. They just add some.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like what happened with Captain Phasma The Last Jedi when she just lost her guns.
Yeah, it took us this current watch through to notice that one, where we were just like, wait, what? There's two of these. How?
It's kind of like in the Snyder Cut, Zack tried tricking us with some garbage editing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's that.
But-
I saw there's one point in which Superman's costume is clipping into his neck.
Oh no, I was not even talking about that. It's like when Flash uses his super speed, real time presumes at 2 different points in time in his introductory scene.
Oh yeah.
Or when Queen Hippolyta, I think it is running. She's running in slow motion, but the rocks are moving at the same pace as normal speed.
And yes, that is Hippolyta.
Yeah. So, yeah, at first I thought it was water. Yeah, but it's just weird that they're in the middle of air and just randomly. So, in terms of the story, basically, it's a ripoff of the original trilogy with chimeraization of the movies thrown together to trick people into think that it's somewhat original. You have Finn. You have kind of the story is a bit of a mess because it seems as though there definitely was no coherent vision for this series at all.
Nope. Because we know for a fact that J.J. Abrams, well, we don't know for sure what exactly happened with Michael Arndt's treatment or prescript or whatever it was, but we know that J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan were still writing The Force Awakens as it was being filmed.
Yeah. Didn't Harrison Ford get an injury and they had to change the script because of that?
Are we in season 8 territory, kind of?
No, we're in season 5 territory. And also, we all know the story about how Poe Dameron was brought back thanks to Oscar Isaac and last-minute script rewrites.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he legit said, hey, I kind of want to not die, JJ. Can you not have me die? And JJ was like, yeah, sure. And then he rewrote. Originally, Poe was supposed to die, which is why that moment in the desert is just like, no, he is dead. Either he flew out of the broken TIE fighter or he's submerged in the sand and blew up. He's dead. And then he just randomly shows up at near the third act.
Yeah, it's like
with no explanation.
Well, barely an explanation. Like
there is an explanation, but it's not really an explanation because it just says, "Oh, I fell unconscious and woke up."
It's like Bruce returning from the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Oh, this proves that Poe is Palpatine because they both come back from the dead. And they both.
Wait, guys, we were wrong. This was the sequel trilogy was planned. This was foreshadowing for Palpatine's return.
See,
somehow Palpatine returned.
It's
somehow Poe returned.
What? A llama? He's supposed to be dead!
Yeah, weird.
Anyway, yeah, we can tell with a lot of certainty that there was no clear direction There was no clear vision. There was no plan. There was not even a conception of a plan.
And
which explains why these three movies seem like they hate each other.
yeah, and it's kind of hard to talk about like this story because basically it's just like the first movie is basically just A New Hope with a few extra planets destroyed and a bigger Death Star.
Yeah,
and
They
a
even point
much
that
more and much more shallow plot and characters.
And a lame villain.
basically the poor man's version of A New Hope, but it somehow has a bigger budget.
Yeah, because Disney has been making Marvel money, and any like losses they take on Star Wars, they can make up with Marvel, because it kind of seems as though Marvel are developing kind of a fanatic fan base that will pay anything.
And defend anything as the pinnacle masterpieces of literary and cinematic art.
Yeah, like how some people defend Loki.
Or
somehow.
Majority of people think that's good.
Yeah,
even
how
say that
people
oh, go for it, sorry.
How people defend Wanda's and Natasha's indefensible actions in WandaVision and Black Widow.
Yep. Yeah, and I remember I showed this on Discord once, how on Looper, but over 180,000 people voted in a poll, and Loki won at 56%. And Daredevil was only 21.
Daredevil is actually good from what I've seen of it.
It is good.
Yeah. And or like they'll say that the MCU is better than Lord of the Rings.
What? Boy, I haven't actually seen those films, so what am I talking about?
Yeah.
I've only seen Lord of the Rings films. I haven't seen the MCU, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
The Lord of the Rings films make the MCU look like trash.
Admittedly, this was around the time Winter Soldier. I think it was either Winter Soldier or Avengers: Age of Ultron. It was kind of around like Daredevil. I think Alex Shaw said the MC used to be Lord of the Rings, but the MCU is now my favorite thing ever. There's nothing higher than it in my estimation. And it's just
No comment.
Oh yeah, 2 bad movies.
Oh yeah, I also saw somewhere how someone says that the prequels were better than Lord of the Rings.
Nonsense. It's like, how many? I mean, if we discount the Ewok movies and all that, we have 11 Star Wars films now.
Yeah.
Only a maximum of 4 of them are good.
The MCU better than progresses straight to legit. But yeah, it's just, but with a lot of it is kind of just like, a lot of it is kind of a series of things. With the Force Awakens, it's a series of things, what J.J. Abrams refers to as mystery boxes, where basically you do not give any information to the audience, you just present them with questions, because the withholding of information is much more interesting than giving information, apparently.
I mean,
in theory that works, but you have to have a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with the mystery box is, like, some people say it as the mystery box is empty or the mystery box paradox or whatever. I just call it, there is no mystery. There is only bait. Because mystery is, well, for one, it's a genre, but in another sense, it is a way of telling a story. It consists of, questions and clue gatherings and dismissals and theories. The mystery is a way of telling a story. The mystery box is a way to postpone actually telling the story.
Yeah. But what are stories but mystery boxes?
no.
That sounds deep to me.
Yeah, about as deep as a puddle.
Yeah, I mean,
JJ seems to think that if you don't get all the information immediately, that somehow makes it a mystery,
I don't know.
which isn't true.
It's like he's trying to. Have you ever played Dark? It feels like he's trying to emulate Dark Souls or something, where nothing's very clear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Yeah, go for it.
So this whole business about the Resistance, First Order, Republic falling apart, etc. That's a deliberate aesthetic choice.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That makes it brilliant.
See, the worst thing about this is that there were basically three, technically two, but you can also say three, major payoffs of the original trilogy. The first was that the Empire is defeated. The second is that Vader is redeemed and destroys Palpatine. And 3, that Luke grows into becoming a Jedi. All 3 of these are completely torched and thrown into the garbage by these 3 movies.
Yeah.
Like, the defeat of the Empire is undone halfway through The Force Awakens, with it accomplishing absolutely nothing. Luke becoming a Jedi accomplished nothing because he just created Vader 2.0. His new Jedi Order failed. It doesn't exist, and he wants to die. Anakin's sacrifice, undone by having Palpatine come back and being 300 times stronger than he was previously.
Does it actually
With
say
no
that?
justification for any of it.
Well, we get shown that when he EMPs the entire Rebel fleet with Force lightning.
Oh, that's a whole other. That's a whole other
the fact
issue.
the fact that he has 30 trillion Death Star destroyers.
Yeah.
That's a part of a different problem, which is Rey can destroy a ship just by using the Force.
Basically the power scaling is broken.
Yoda can burn down a library just by using the Force, even though he's dead. Although that's not the only or even worse problem with that. The whole concept of burning down a library is just disgusting to me. It's so anti-intellectual too. I know this is a tangent, but I can't stand that. I think that's my least favorite thing in the entire trilogy. That's actually the thing I hate most.
Well, the funny thing is, it's an empty library. There's no books in it.
Yeah.
What happened to the books?
Ray took them.
Oh, then that's good then. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, remember, that's where the information of the Wayfinder is in the 9th movie.
Yeah, it's easy to get confused with these things.
So much blinking you miss it. Bull crap.
Yeah, like Luke wanting to kill Kylo. I was like, Doop!
Yeah. We do have our favorite guest coming in, or at least the person that everybody likes, including me, and especially our the lady with the doggo. Please welcome Tarek.
Here's to the bar that I'm calling me plum. Here's to the beast and the rest of you scum. The cage is locked in and the town is aflame, and it's ours for the taking. Let you get the fame.
Tarek, what are you doing, man?
Pulling 10-hour work shifts, and then I come home to this bullshit.
Welcome.
God bless you, Tarek. Never change.
Doing all this work, busting my balls, and then I come here only to have my balls just crushed. This fucking sucks, man.
Yep, this is the worst channel ever.
Yes, it is, but it's so entertaining though.
It's as one comic book guy would say, worst show ever.
What are we on right now? I missed a few beats.
We're on the story.
Supposedly, we're it's kind of hard to concentrate on the plot because.
Story. We're talking about story. I've seen coloring books with a better story.
No comment.
It shocks me. This is the most paint by numbers thing, yet every color was the wrong one.
But there aren't any pictures to color.
$4 billion.
Yeah,
What was this worth beforehand? Like the
36.
toy rights alone were like 36.
Yes.
Yeah, $36 billion. You spend $4, and what do you do with it? Don't worry, it's still $1 billion franchise. Yeah, it's now only worth like the $4 billion we paid for it.
Well, the lighting was nice, and the progs are cute.
Oh, that's wonderful, Balerion. The lighting was nice, so I could see every moment of bullshit of the money I wasted.
Well, it's better than not being able to see it.
I'd rather not be able to see it.
But it's pretty. It's pretty. It's pretty.
Hey, Tarek, to add what you said earlier, a colorblind kid could probably write a more accurate drawing than this.
Was that the best you had?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have a very, very, very short list of pros that I can maybe say something about for this movie. Should I go for it?
Sure.
Please.
Let's be optimistic, people.
Okay, the first is
the lighting.
No. The people who did the visual effects were clearly working really hard for this, and for the most part, there is relatively high visual fidelity. There are many things in this movie that I particularly don't like the look of, and to be specific, I'll say everything to do with Palpatine. Same thing applies to the actors for the most part. With the exception of how exactly his quote-unquote death and rebirth comes about. C-3PO, I didn't mind him for most of the movie, or most of his screen time, rather. Number 4, this is the one with the biggest asterisks, and they all come with asterisks. They do try to do things with the Force that try to expand the Force, if you want, in ways that haven't been done before in the movies, and some of which harkens back to the original EU. The way they do it, and the way they break the Force, turns this into one of the movie's biggest cons. But conceptually, I would say it's a pro.
Yeah, kind of like the Force projection Luke does.
Go for it, Balerion.
I was just going to mention that the birds are cute. And the little animals are cute, and the fish nuns are kind of cute.
Yeah, other than the fish nuns, I would happily eat all of those things.
They think the same of you.
Yeah, what's done anyway?
Yep,
And
see?
And the problem with porks is that they basically Baby Yoda them, if you know what I mean.
Not really.
Well, it's kind of like what they did with BB-8 in the Force Awakens marketing. Like, he was everywhere back then.
For whatever reason, they commercialized the crap out of those porgs, thinking that they would be the new minions.
Yeah.
Which...
I mean, the minions are shit. What did they expect?
You just reminded me that BB-8 is also cute.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything stupid, thankfully.
Yeah, so BB-8's automatically the best character in these movies. Wait, no, besides Babu Frick.
Babu Frick has the stupid contrivance where he survives getting his planet blown up.
Oh, yeah. Well, BB-8 also had that time when he shoved his head up the circuit board.
Yeah.
Welcome, Nihilus Nihilum.
I'm just gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
What's that ching-ching sound of?
I don't know.
Like, I keep hearing some sound. I don't know. I'm sorry.
All right.
You keep going, Tarek. I'm so rude.
What I was gonna say was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child was better fan fiction than this bullshit.
Oh, I haven't read it, but I've heard it's awful.
It's
Honestly, I'm not sure about that.
I've never heard of it.
Here's the thing. It kind of doesn't ruin the characters anywhere near as bad as this one does.
It turns Harry into a bad dad. I know that much.
Well, actually,
I mean, the characters are badly written in The Cursed Child, but they're not.
It's not
as bad
assassinating
as,
them as
yeah,
it's not
as bad as
assassinating
the sequels. No,
It's kind of like how in Korra it turned Aang into this like neglectful father for his two non-airbending kids.
Yeah. We'll keep things to yeah, that is that is
yeah. Well, with the sequels, it's like all of the legacy characters, meaning characters from the previous movies, are either destroyed, discarded, or a combination of the two. And I do mean every single one.
Lando made it out relatively unscathed.
No. Like, this
Let him
guy
finish.
was apparently chasing after a Sith clue with Luke, and then he just gives up and does nothing for 10 years plus.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's
and his kid is kidnapped and doesn't do anything.
I would say that is at least discarding his character.
What about R2D2?
R2D2 was also discarded
I
because
mean,
he has basically
Hold on.
nothing in the whole trilogy.
He's
yeah,
a
he just
prop.
came back to life out of nowhere in Force Awakens.
Yeah,
Because he's expected to be there.
yeah, he's a prop. That's all he
Yeah.
is.
Well,
Yeah,
at least it
R2D2
leads to
is-
the one good scene in The Last Jedi when he meets Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was that.
I'll show you had something to say.
But yeah, that's true. Aside from the one scene in The Last Jedi, R2D2 is just a prop
Yeah.
who exists purely for plot reasons.
Oh.
He's basically not a character.
Another part I would say is that the Luke and Leia scene, if you just forget Solo, is a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene is honestly, in retrospective, Solo is hilariously bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's Solo's fault, not The Last Jedi's, which
True.
I can't believe I'm saying something's not The Last Jedi's fault, but
Solo had the inadvertent effect of ruining Lando too.
yeah, man, pansexual.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. Not to mention, oh God, that
The
whole.
funny
The whole
thing is,
Pardon me.
Lando being pansexual is basically not even a thing in the movie.
yeah, and then there's that whole bit with the android, the droid rights droid, and all that. That just got disgusting.
And the actress who played her, she's writing Indiana Jones 5.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I have no idea how good a writer she
I'm
is.
pretty sure she also had a writing credit on No Time to Die,
Ugh.
That is just goddamn ridiculous.
which is also not a good movie.
My father hated that movie.
Our thoughts on Rogue One. We did Solo.
We
Rogue
have
One as
we have a whole stream on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
watch that.
But quick version, it's perfectly functional character development-less movie that has some pretty neat spectacle that doesn't offend my sensibilities.
It's kind of meh.
The biggest problem with Rogue One is that like what's his name? Kanda?
Cassian
Andor. I knew it's and something. Andor does like a lot. Like in the beginning of the movie, he does a really naughty thing where he just kills a guy in cold blood. And I know what they were trying to do, trying to show like the rebels are, like we only got to see the good that they did, but in any kind of guerrilla group, you're gonna see a lot of evil shit happen just because they think it's right. He doesn't do anything else like that for the rest of the movie.
Well, he was about
to be fair, he does. To be fair, he does not do it in cold blood. There is a moment afterwards where he's like, "Holy shit, I just killed this guy." But yeah,
Oh, I don't remember that part. I just remember the part where he kills the guy and then he just kind of walks away like he's a bounty hunter.
Well, he only killed him because that guy had like a bad arm or something, and he couldn't.
He couldn't
and
escape.
He would, like it was actually probably helping because he probably would have been captured and tortured, which would have been far worse than an instant blaster shot.
All right,
Anyway.
it's been a while since I've seen the movie. But anyways,
But yeah, that's kind of like our like quick fire thoughts on Rogue One.
All right,
It's
back to the real shit.
Yeah. But like with the it's kind of like, I guess kind of it goes into kind of the idea of the lacking characters, because like the story the failings of the story kind of fall on the bad characters just as much as it does on the poor story writing.
Yeah.
In a way.
I mean, Rey, she's probably the single-handedly brought the term Mary Sue into the mainstream. I mean, she's pretty much the reason why everybody now at least knows about that term.
Honestly, we should stop using the term Mary Sue and use the term Rey instead.
here's the other thing, though, about that, and I've been thinking about this. The other issue with Rey as a character is that people are now, and this is my assumption, people are now going to think making a character like this is okay because Star Wars did it. And they're trying to what?
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, look all the Mary Sues that we have been getting past few years after The Force Awakens.
Can you name me a few? Because I'm genuinely trying to remember a few, but I know what you're talking about.
Like, we got the live-action Mulan. Like, she would most definitely be a Mary Sue. Like,
yeah, she is.
Right.
Because I know Batwoman from the Batwoman show is a pretty big Mary Sue. There's also, who's that woman from the He-Man Netflix show?
She-Ra?
Yeah, like I know she also kind of Mary Sue. There's that girl from I know what's that Star Trek show? The live action
Lower Decks or
yeah, Lower Decks too. But what else is it? Live action one?
Discovery.
Yeah,
Mikey Spock.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Star Trek. I don't know much about, but I know that one of the shows does that as a Mary Sue. Who else?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Yeah.
I want to say the new chick from No Time to Die.
The new 007.
Oh, Nomi?
Whatever her name is, yeah. You know, the ugly one.
The ugly one.
That's funny.
Okay, Brightness Becca. Or at the very least, they're going to think they can get away with a character like that. We cannot put it in the effort. Because writing like a Rey don't take effort, my peeps.
Yeah, it doesn't. Speaking as somebody who has occasionally, unfortunately, written characters like Rey, only they were guys, I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I left that in my teenage years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any more Mary Sues we could think of?
I think we've hit the mark.
We don't need to list. We don't need to
there are quite a few characters that you can say are Mary Sue's or Gary Sue's.
Oh yeah, Arya Stark.
Like Wesley Crusher. Well, obviously he was first introduced. But...
Yeah, I like to call her Azor Ahria, the Maisie Sue that wasn't promised.
Yeah, she is basically a Mary Sue after season 8, episode 3, which is kind of funny because
I know
she
kills the Ice King.
Even before then, she was heading in that general direction already in season 6.
I think she got there in season 6 by virtue of the fact that she survived a gut stab wound that was clearly infected with sepsis.
Ooh.
Yeah, by the way, they might be putting Wanda in the MCU toward in a Mary Sue-esque direction.
Yeah.
I think we have enough of a list now.
Well, the only Mary Sue that really came before Rey was Korra.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good point.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
I do have a genuine question, though, about Arya Stark. I know this isn't related, but I'm just trying to figure something out, because everybody always praises the characters in Game of Thrones. Was there a point in the series where Arya's writing started to change? Like, she was no longer acting like the character she started as?
Oh, absolutely. It was at the end of season 4.
I would say the middle of season 5.
Well, I'd say after the point where she leaves Needle and goes to train in the House of Black and White, that's when her character writing starts to shift off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's the breaking point in the series in general. It's the point where they stopped bothering, kind of, or else they decided they were just so brilliant they didn't need to bother about the source material anymore. And basic writing went right out the window. What was that? What was that? A mermaid.
Mermaid Ray.
What the? Pardon me.
Yeah, what can you do?
No offense.
It's the perfect Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
does Ray have any good moments? I mean, there's a couple of scenes where the problem is that individual scenes are sometimes fine, but then they exist in a general context. I mean, there's nice bits where there's a couple of nice bits where she's hugging Leia, but I mean, what's the backstory to that? What's the context? Kind of not really.
Well, I would also say I kind of liked her intro scene in Force Awakens. Like, I know even Mahler did kind of praise that in his Force Awakens critique.
Yeah, because it's all visual storytelling, and it all sets up like this is a scavenger. She has very few skills other than scavenging. She lives a terrible life, and
she sees that old woman that could potentially be her one day.
Yeah,
and the problem is once you start introducing the context for why she is in this situation, the writing goes off the rails basically immediately.
Because there isn't much of a context. But what was I going to say? There's a bit where she doesn't. There's a bit where the actress actually shows some passion when she doesn't want to be a Palpatine. Then the actress actually. I don't want to diss the actress too much, but Luke, we really need you. We really the fate of the galaxy depends upon you.
Yeah, Daisy Ridley's acting is also what kind of makes it pushes Rey more towards the Mary Sue direction.
Yeah, and my favorite bit is her. My favorite bit is her on BB-8 at the end, which tells you something that BB-8 has more soul maybe than some of the human characters.
Well, I think the problem with Rey is that there are a few scenes that could amount to something like Force Skyping with Kylo and her conversation with Luke's Force Ghost in The Rise of Skywalker. Like, there is some glimmer of an idea here, because it's actually about her character to a certain extent. But then you have everything else, and Daisy Ridley's mostly poor acting, and the ridiculous plot armor, and it all just sort of adds up to a really, really terrible character all around.
Yes. Like, she's probably... Would you be comfortable saying she's probably the worst character in Star Wars? Or at least in the top 5?
I mean, since we're not going to count the expanded universe, right?
No.
Just the films.
Just the films? I would... I don't know. Like, TLJ Luke is really awful. Snoke is really awful. Kylo Ren is really awful.
Well, at least they're acted better.
They are acted better. I will give you that. Hux is really bad. Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker is really bad.
Finn's not bad, is he?
Well, not as
Finn's writing is bad all around. His acting isn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we're gonna go with writing plus acting, yeah, I would say that Rey is definitely top 5 worst characters in the Star Wars movies.
Who else do you think? Okay. All right, never mind. You already listed other characters that could potentially be worse.
But we also have like Phasma,
Who's
or
pointless.
Rose, or
and L3. I know that's not the
L3.
sequels, but she's still terrible.
Hold me a second. Nihilus. The characters of Finn, Poe, and blah 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 didn't evolve. Oh, you have to go up. There we are. He gets 4 superpowers, but nothing else changed. Not much, anyway. Poe and Finn don't change at all, except Finn goes out of the Empire.
Yeah.
And that's at the beginning, isn't it? That's basically at the tail beginning of the very beginning that he shifts from the Empire to the thing. It'd be more interesting if we take a whole film. Pardon me. It would be more interesting if it took a whole film for him to change allegiance.
Or half a movie.
Yeah, half a film. Okay, carry on.
It's like the fact that he is a stormtrooper is not used by any of the films beyond like
cursory stuff.
Yeah, it's cursory backstory stuff. And beyond that, he's a perfectly well-adjusted, relatively competent comic relief.
Yeah. Well, the only time his stormtrooper thing's really just brought up Last Jedi is just when they need his knowledge to get into the hyperspace tracking room. It's like the only thing that about a stormtrooper past relates to the plot of Last Jedi.
Because apparently he was trained from birth to be a janitor.
Yeah.
Here's the odd thing though about Finn, because I know they said he was in sanitation in the movie, but I'm willing to bet they were going a completely different direction where they mentioned something about conditioning. I'm willing to bet that the original idea was that he somehow broke the conditioning because he was supposed to be the Jedi character. If that was the case, this man would wake up screaming every night due to the atrocities he's probably caused. He'd be questioning if he would ever find peace. Like, his soul is probably tainted in such a way to the point where, meeting Luke would have been like, can you offer me salvation? I have done many things I am not proud of.
Oh, that would have been interesting too.
Actually, regardless of whether he was going to become a Jedi or not, I think he should have met Luke.
Oh, easily, yeah.
What do you mean, Darius Stone? The Searchers, and can you explain? I don't fully understand the question. If you could clarify, that would be great.
Yeah.
Have we seen the Searchers, and can you explain the ending to the Searchers?
I don't know.
The Searchers is a film from 1956.
What?
No, I'm sorry, I haven't. I'm very sorry, I haven't seen this movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, about Finn, like they could have used him being like a Force user to explain why he has like a conscience to where he's able to defect from the First Order. But in TROS, it's completely ruined because it gives us confirmation that an entire battalion of First Order stormtroopers defected.
Well, not only that, but Snoke's line in the movie of "There's been an awakening" kind of really fits Finn far more than it ever fit Rey.
Yeah. That's why everybody thought that he was going to be like the main Jedi character and the main protagonist.
Which makes so much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like even if you weren't going to make him the Jedi character, like at least use him.
At least use him. Yeah.
Give him some proper characterization and a logical place in the world.
And yeah, it's kind of hard to remember exactly what he did. I mean, I remember him being at the casino. I remember that bit. And I remember a lot of riding on animals and shooting things. I don't remember much of the story beyond that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that a Forceless Finn could have been a really good protagonist. So we actually have this boots on the ground regular guy having to interact with this crazy conflict between insane space wizards.
Yeah. At least make the sequel trilogy like maybe a couple hundred years after the OT. But obviously, that will mean that they couldn't bring in the actors for of the legacy cast, so that wouldn't have been an option for Disney.
Yeah, that I think that was one of the main story problems that came into The Force Awakens, because as long as the original cast are still alive, you can't make a movie without them, especially not a sequel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is if you had them turn up as like a hologram or something, someone finds like a recording of them.
Or a Force Ghost.
Or a Force Ghost, yeah. Force Ghost always works. But yeah, that's hitting on one of the big problems with The Force Awakens and the whole thing, because Luke being a myth might make sense after 200 years. Things like that. The Republic having declined again by then could make sort of sense, even though it's just a repetition of the prequel story then. But at least it would make sense.
Yeah.
You guys actually had I think it was Tarek who actually had a really good idea back on the TFA stream, which was to have the galaxy essentially start falling apart after the Empire, because
like Mad Max.
Yeah, like Mad Max, where there's a massive power vacuum, and you have basically every star system for themselves, or these smaller factions that are just doing their own thing, and the Republic, well, the New Republic, it does exist, but it's not galaxy spanning. It's basically just one sector of space, and you can make it bigger if you want, but it's basically just one faction in a sea of factions. And then you can actually give something like the Final Order a little bit of legitimacy, as it just being a coalition of different factions drummed together by a single puppet master.
Again, it also gives more credence to Luke's line of the Jedi overstepped, because he thought that killing Palpatine would bring order to the universe. Instead, what it did was it caused more chaos than there's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead they basically just say, oh, they got their ideal ending, and we're gonna destroy it immediately.
Mm-hmm. I think that kind of goes back to like the broken plot and the terrible world building.
Yeah.
And kind of just this whole thing is a giant mess stemming from a bad setup.
What's world building?
Yeah. I think I actually have
the world building is Swiss cheese when it exists at all.
The whole part, am I right?
No, I actually have a line for the world building.
Is also nowhere to be found in this film.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, just the amount of spending material you need to understand, to even try to understand these movies, is incomprehensible.
It's not even that you need them to understand. You need them to complete the movie.
Yeah.
See, the thing about the original trilogy was that the scale was relatively small, because like the Empire is spread out over the entire galaxy, and we only see a tiny portion of the actual war that is going on. And we're talking about this tiny little speck in the universe that is the Rebellion. In this, the Republic is supposedly in control of the galaxy. And they try to have the scale be bigger. But the problem is we don't know anything about the wider galaxy.
Yeah, the problem is because of the backlash the prequels had, especially when it came to the politics and world building, that meant that Disney thought, oh, we can't include politics, otherwise fans will be mad at us.
A couple of things in chat. The Empire did nothing wrong, Nihilus Nihilum. And above that, credence, normative weight, gasp, illegal.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the story isn't grounded in anything. It's like
Yeah.
the original trilogy had very grounded world building and very grounded characters. This one doesn't.
Yeah, that's in a nutshell.
Yeah, major problem with these movies is just the fact that they just wipe the slate clean and have the Republic be destroyed in a flash. So it's like, we're just doing the New Hope again. We're just doing the original trilogy again. We have no creativity.
Were there any characters from the Republic government at all in the entire sequel trilogy? Because I don't remember any.
Not really.
No.
According to expanded material,
not any
Leia and
characters.
according to expanded material, Leia and Holdo are senators, but that's not in the movies. And
Well, I think Leia was a senator already. Wasn't Leia a senator already in the original
Yeah.
trilogy?
Yeah.
well, she was obviously, her father was the senator, and she was
on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
Yeah, she's at least a political figure.
Yes.
Yeah, Benzoi's the world building the world building.
Yeah.
Vomit. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't think this can be understated. The world building and the plot of the sequels make the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy completely skippable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's brilliantly postmodern.
Yeah.
That is an oxymoron that I don't know if anybody can quite wrap their heads around.
Well, that's also postmodern, so that proves it.
Yeah. The fact that there is a resistance. It's just they should just be the Republic military.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and the explanation they give and why the resistance public interceptor thing is so stupid. Have you heard about it?
Because JJ just wanted to recreate the original trilogy because that's what he likes about Star Wars.
Yeah, but the thing is, apparently the Senate kicked out Leia when she tried to warn her first order because they found out that she was Vader's daughter. And so they just kicked her out, and that's why she and Holdo, with what resources they had, just formed the resistance.
No. That doesn't make any sense.
It's like, I can understand hysteria over Luke and Leia being Vader's kids, but also at the same time, it's kind of a bullshit setup.
I mean, yeah, considering they were the ones who pretty much single-handedly saved the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And is the explanation even in the films?
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay, then we can't use it as a defense.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
well, no,
I'm
it's just-
using it as a
it is-
criticism.
I know. I'm agreeing.
Yeah, it's kind of the idea that these people are so dumb that even their post facto rationalizations for their narrative decisions are bad.
Yeah.
The reason why that doesn't make sense to me is if Leia was still a senator, that would mean she was elected. Like, I don't think you could just kick somebody out of a Senate seat just because they were like the son or daughter of a mass murderer.
Yeah.
It's like
You could do a recall,
you guys know the story about the granddaughter of Mussolini, right?
Isn't she in politics?
Yep, she is. She's like the mayor of Rome or something.
Well, I mean, what is it? Hitler's niece Angela Merkel's in charge of Germany.
Wow.
I don't know if that's.
She's
I don't know if that's.
Hitler's niece. What?
Is she really?
I have never heard this.
No, but that's what I've heard, so I just decided it's funny enough to be true.
Oh yeah, Bento brings up a good point. Apparently, no reason why the Republic military is so small they were all wiped out one fell swoop is after the war ended, Mon Mothma decided, okay, let's almost completely demilitarized.
Which is just
But,
retarded.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
incredibly stupid.
I mean, remember in the prequels, the Senate wanted the Republic accepted the Clone Army because they had no military. So by doing this, they're only going to repeat that same mistake.
Which they did.
Yeah.
Or worse, get destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, the First Order probably could have just sent in every single ship they had to take the Republic capital. I mean,
yeah, what is the point of Starkiller Base? Like, the amount of resources you'd have to pull into it is astronomically high.
Yeah,
like, you can literally just make a gigantic fleet of ships.
Yeah,
like super modern ships with like extremely advanced shields and weapons, and that's enough for you to take over the galaxy.
Yeah, they could have made more of those dreadnoughts that we see in the Last Jedi because Poe says that they're apparently fleet killers. So with enough of them, they could have wiped out the entire Republic fleet.
Question.
By the way, this is a nitpick, but those dreadnoughts are so fucking ugly.
Yeah, the pizza ships.
Valerian had something to say.
Question. This Star Killer base, it's on an ice planet, am I right? And
Yeah, it's on Ilum.
Yes.
It's on an ice planet that's right the nearest one to the sun, but it's an ice planet, but it has the Star Killer thing on it. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are correct.
So yes. I just wanted to get that out there. As long as we're talking about world building and problems, I want to just get that little detail out there. Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah. And then kind of like, I guess like another thing that we can kind of talk about is just, it's also kind of like the plot is just kind of a series of things happening. The characters are not well developed. They're very, very, very static. They don't have like any kind of definitive arc. It's kind of just lip service, really. Like Rise of Skywalker feels like it's its own movie, divorced from the other two.
It really does.
Like, which one?
Rise of Skywalker.
The last one.
Yeah.
It's basically trying to do the work of 3 movies in one.
But Skywalker never even rose. I was expecting a resurrection.
No, it's Rey
no,
as
what do you
Skywalker.
mean? Multiple Skywalkers rose in this movie. You know, Luke rose from the grave as a ghost. Kylo rose up from the chasm, and Rey took the name.
Man, whatever.
I love how just
whatever.
Oh yeah, by the way, for some reason they keep on referring to Kylo as a Skywalker when he's a Solo.
Well, I mean, he is the nephew and grandson of Skywalkers.
That scene between Kylo and Rey was so hot, though. It was like, oh my god.
Valerian, I never want to hear those words out of your mouth again because my soul just crawled back up inside of whatever's in my heart.
I beg your sorry about that. That was quite unintentional.
By the way, I did not expect in the year of our Lord 2015 that I would come into 2021 thinking that Star Wars would join the ranks of Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey as mainstream endorsements of abusive relationships in fiction.
You have a point.
Yeah, kind of.
Can you even call it a relationship?
Well,
somehow they made it. Somehow they managed to do it.
He was redeemed by love.
There was
love of his dad. The love of his dad, not the love of her.
But
oh, sorry, my mic disconnected for a second.
That's all right.
I mean, is there anything else to even say?
I don't think so.
After that,
I mean, is there anybody else we could bring on, like Replica?
He hasn't responded. I think he's asleep or something. Oh yeah, that line was awful.
Oh yeah,
Fuck.
that's the official worst line in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and also just like the funniest part is just about Rose. Like, so with Rose is so pointless. She is.
She really is. Yeah.
Especially in the last movie.
Yeah.
she's kind of harmless. I guess that's the best I can have said.
Nah, she is really badly written in TLJ, but then instead of trying to do something with her to, fix her character in Rise of Skywalker, just say, no, you're not going to be in this movie.
That's because, ironically, Disney knows dead weight when they see it.
But they kept the other stuff in.
It was such a blatant move, too. Like, oh, hey, do you want to come along? Nah, I can't.
My toys don't sell.
She exists to moralize to the audience. Yes.
That is correct.
Badly written as being extremely kind. Yeah.
I mean, just the thing is, they're still looking forward to any Star Wars movies anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, that's actually a point on my thing. What's next? You can't build anything from this.
No, you really can't. It's after The Rise of Skywalker came out. Well, this was before The Rise of Skywalker came out, but even more so after it. I was trying to come up with a way to rewrite the entire sequel trilogy, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, this isn't possible. You can't fix this. You have to delete, torch it all, and start over.
Well, we could build it on it and have Rey conquer the entire galaxy and build a new world, a new universe of peace and love as she goes.
That's what he did.
One at a time, please. Valerian was talking first. That's good.
Oh, I was just expatiating how she can just liberate the entire universe, go from galaxy to galaxy, using her force powers to just liberate everything.
No more liberals. No more of this liberal propaganda.
Oh well, in that case, we can make her Hitler then.
The book Aja, I don't know. Relegate the sequel trilogy to the Legends canon? No. Don't sully the Legends canon with this. Especially considering that it contradicts so much that's already in it.
Yeah. I think another thing that is possible, like the whole China doesn't like Vietnam, and Kelly Marie Tran is half Vietnamese, I believe.
Her parents are Vietnamese immigrants.
That's kind of a stupid reason to have a backlash.
I mean, does China hate everyone?
Well, yes. I think it's not really a controversy. It's not really the backlash in the States to her being Vietnamese. It was more China didn't like her.
Oh, we should have. China should tell us what to put in our films, really.
All Asians hate other Asians. Everybody knows this.
I mean, everyone hates China. They hate black people. They hate Muslims. They hate Vietnamese.
Everyone hates everybody.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, back to the Star Wars movies thing. I mean, Solo bombed at the box office. The only Star Wars that have ever done so. So that also means it killed off any hope of Star Wars spin-off movies.
And then they've just pushed it into
the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, when a new Star Wars thing comes out, there's always going to be these sort of camps of fans, like, it's as good as the originals, or it's worse than the originals, or it's better than the prequels, or it's worse than the prequels. And I think the conversation gets sort of muddied and oversimplified. I have criticized the prequels quite a bit, and there are things in those that are really bad. Quite a few times for the same reasons. But the thing is, they have a few advantages that I would say sort of intrinsically places them above the sequels. The first is a coherent vision for what the story was supposed to be. But also, it already had a level of investment from you if you had already seen the original trilogy, because of a couple of names, those being Kenobi, Skywalker, and Yoda. And also, the prequels served as a pretty good springboard for sort of a spider web of spin-off stories in the expanded universe. Because a lot of the expanded universe stories set during this period are actually really, really good. And so I have my experience with it sort of tied in with that as well. But when I think about it consciously, basically nothing of what I would say is good comes straight from the films, which is why I would say they're still bad movies. The problem is they have certain advantages. None of this is in the sequel trilogy, in the slightest, and there is no argument otherwise. Like, they can't even pull from like their own previous movie history and continuity, because they either make it completely irrelevant, as in the original trilogy, or with the prequels, they either don't tie into it at all, or when they do so in the most oblique, strange, nonsensical ways, like Luke's quote-unquote critique of the Jedi in TLJ.
Yeah.
It's just, you've burned the earth and then salted it. You can't do anything. Like, there's no follow-up to this. You can basically just do the occasional like prequel-esque project, like the Mandalorian or the High Republic.
So
Valerian first, and then the next person.
So delenda est Star Warthago.
Yeah.
Who gets that? Delenda est art Carthage must be destroyed. That's what the Cato kept saying that, and then they ended up snowing the city with salt.
Oh, that's what you're referring to. I see. Yeah, I'm aware of that.
That's a little obscure, but yes.
I heard about that in, I think, like the Latin phrase, yes, but the sentiment is like fairly well known. Like, I think when I was watching Lemon Thompson's lectures, that was something he specifically brought up.
Yeah, it's quite charming.
Yeah, I do love Lemon Thompson's lectures. He's great because he basically like dresses up like either as an archaeologist or a person in the time period.
By the way, Space Junk, I can actually answer your question. What is the most motivation of Finn to do anything? We have the exact same answer.
He wants that British woman's box.
Yeah.
Even John Boyega agrees. It's not who gets the kiss; it's who gets to lay the pipe.
No comment.
He actually said that.
Yeah, because he's a Chad.
No comment.
John Boyega is fucking based.
That's because the man has nothing to lose and he knows it. He has everything to gain.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also he's just a really funny, charming guy. It just kind of sucks that he got saddled with this garbage.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's how Harrison Ford felt too.
Yeah.
Well, Harrison Ford at least had some good movies.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you were talking about TV shows earlier. I mean, how long are the TV shows even going to last? I mean, Mandalorian and Bad Batch have been well received, even though they're both piles of shit. And we got the Book of Boba Fett coming out in 2 months. But who knows how long it'll last until people start to turn on them and start to kill their TV shows.
I don't think they will.
Disney
is too big to fail, I think, is the problem. And despite what the sequels have done, people are still willing to eat up basically any new Star Wars content.
Okay, chat. Nihilum motivation. What is that? Can I smoke it?
Yeah.
and Brightness Spec. No anti-Britishness around here. Rey is not ours. You can have her.
Yeah.
Yep. Hand her over to the Yanks.
But what I was going to say was I actually kind of like the name for the Boba Fett show, the Book of Fett. Well,
yeah,
hold
that's
on.
a good question. What is Rey's motivation to do anything? I have no idea.
Okay, but let Tarek finish his sentence first.
Oh, sorry. I think my thing cut out for a second. I apologize.
That's all right. Okay. I actually kind of like the name of the show, Book of Fett or whatever they're calling it, mostly because Book of Boba Fett, because Mandalore culture has also become a pseudo religion. I kind of like that they're between Mandalorian and Boba Fett. They're kind of making that distinction, if you know what I mean. That they're solidifying it that Mandalore has a religion, and obviously the Book of Boba Fett is supposed to be a sort of like a book from the Bible, if you will, like the Book of Job or something. I like that aspect of it, but at the same time, I have no hope for the show.
Yeah, me neither.
There's also like a bunch. There's 5 Star Wars shows in the works or something?
There's a lot of them.
I know there's the Ahsoka show that's coming up.
There's Rangers of the New Republic.
I thought that was canceled.
Yeah, that's canceled.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, there's the Obi-Wan show.
Which is going to be bad.
We have season 2 of Bad Batch confirmed to be in the works. And season 1 of Bad Batch was bad.
Bad Batch should have never been made into a show. Period.
Yeah. Or maybe it's made into a better show.
No. Like, they were only introduced in, season 7 of Clone Wars?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we have these group of unique clone troopers. Oh, okay, these are cute one-off characters. Oh, they're getting their own show. Why?
Okay. Yeah, maybe I could go back to Bright Lord was talking about motivation in the actual films.
Oh, yeah, Mandalorian season 3 is coming out.
All right.
Yeah.
That's nice. But
and the Cassian show.
Look, I apologize, but Balerian, you got to understand. You cannot talk about Star Wars without talking about everything Star Wars, not even the movies, because everything now interconnects. It's like talking about a Marvel movie, for God's sake. Everything always references each other. So that's
fine, but we've done it for long enough. Maybe we can get back to what Bright Lord was talking about. If you can still hear me, what happened to you? Are you still alive? Done, chap? What?
Done?
Someone say something, please.
Done.
Oh, God. This is so annoying. All right.
Done died.
Well, I guess we may as well get back to talking about guess we may as well go back to talking about the shows until he comes back to life.
Well, no, I'm back. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You were going to say something.
I was just kind of going to say, like, the motivation for Rey especially, there is none.
I don't know, man. Nothing's really happened with it.
What?
It's basically just, I'm a good person. I'm going to do good things.
That's even like Daisy Ridley's justification. I think, like she said, I don't buy the Mary Sue thing. I found the term to be quite sexist.
Well, that could be Disney telling her stuff
because
John Boyega used to say really dumb stuff.
There's definitely a script off camera there.
Yeah, like in Game of Thrones too.
Yeah, but I think Disney though are a lot more stringent than Mr. Dumb and Dumber. They don't care.
Don't insult Terry and Lloyd.
Okay, dip crap and dumb arse.
That's better.
Yeah, the lunatics. But Yeah, but it's just kind of like motivate. Like it is kind of frustrating because Rey's the main character.
Sorry, I just dropped my phone. Sorry.
No, you're
No
fine.
need to be concerned.
That's all right.
Oh no, that's fine. But just kind of like, and also kind of like, but that like what Tarek was saying about them going into the shows and a lot of the prequel stuff and a lot of like prequel stuff. I think that kind of relates back to this. Like they've just lost any motivation to do any more movies because Rise of Skywalker was heavily panned by like it's the lowest rated Star Wars movie. It like Phantom Menace had the lowest critical score before this, and then this beat it. But for whatever reason,
and
the
also,
audience score.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Also, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes
It was
at
obviously
80,
froze.
Yeah, it was at 86.
Yes.
At 10,000 reviews. Now it's 100,000, and it hasn't budged an inch.
Wow.
And it was dropping like hourly before that.
Yeah, I smell bull crap.
Yeah, I mean, we know Rotten Tomatoes has done it before. Look at Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also a bunch of people have been looking into a bunch of the audience reviews, and a lot of them seem automated or like rubbled together very quickly.
Yeah, like the positive ones.
Yeah, a lot of them keep repeating stuff like "great end to a great saga," "great end to the saga," "good movie for blah blah blah." There's a lot of repetition of that particular kind of phrasing.
Yeah. There's also kind of an element of they just kind of like it seems as though they're just kind of like they realized they saw that Mandalorian was kind of generally positively received, and so they're going in that direction.
You mean the direction they should have gone on in the beginning? A Star Wars property?
Yeah. Well, it just seems like not even like a Star Wars property. It's just like it's weird that they're going into like since Star Wars only like became a TV thing with Clone Wars, and now they're just kind of saturating the market with a bunch of Star Wars TV shows with only one movie directed by Patty Jenkins, which is going to be bad because Patty Jenkins is not a good filmmaker. Fight me if you disagree.
I mean, Wonder Woman 84 for my part it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched it.
I have seen Wonder Woman 1984. Like, I have very little faith in Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
I was talking to a bunch of people at Maulers the other night, and honestly, Clone Wars, the TV series, and I'm bringing this up because this kind of relates back to what George Lucas's original intention was. George Lucas is a man who just loves old serials. He loves the old, like, one-off stories, the weird kind of universes. He's always been a fan, I believe, more of aesthetics than straight up storytelling. He understands storytelling. I just think he enjoys the aesthetic building more, if you get what I mean.
He also likes retro stuff in the form of his what is it? He likes the old movies and the old acting, even though the old acting sucks.
That's what?
Well, I don't think it's even that the old acting sucks. Like, they're working under completely different conditions or prerequisites. Because I'm not exactly a professional theater actor, but I do have some experience in stage acting. You're working under very different conditions than you are with a movie. So you have one take for the entire thing. You have also it's supposed to be viewed by an audience and maybe filmed in the background from one angle. So you have to you have to be loud, you have to speak very clearly. Emoting isn't really that important, but you need a big, clear movement, very expressive movement. Whereas with a film, you can do as many takes as you want. You can zoom in as much as you want. Like emoting combined with acting and also the way the dialogue is delivered is much more important. And in early movies, there seems to be this more slant towards the kind of acting that you see in theater. But as filming has become more advanced, film acting has taken on its own identity.
I can appreciate that, yeah.
So, Tarek, what were you saying?
What I was saying was, Clone Wars I believe it or not, Lucas's magnum opus. This is something he's always wanted to do. To make these serials, to make this series of of vignettes, like, you know, where you can tell a self-contained story in one go, if you get what I mean, or in several parts. The problem with Star Wars was he was limited to about a 2-hour movie. I think Clone Wars was what he always wanted to do, and I think you can see that. So it kind of makes sense that Star Wars would eventually become a TV series. Because now you can do the serials, you can do the vignettes, but without his hand to guide it, even the movies, you get the crap we're getting now.
Yeah. Yeah, without the guidance of him or his family, like Star Wars is just going off to deep end.
Say what you will about Filoni. The man at least understood the way George Lucas worked. He did. He does. If you watch Clone Wars, like specific episodes he wrote, there are a lot of elements there that felt like, okay, yeah, this man truly studied under Lucas, but he took the good with the bad.
Yeah, Filoni clearly does take the good with the bad from Lucas, which is kind of the reason why I prefer the 2003 Clone Wars. But yeah, I think the problem is it's sort of become Lucas versus Disney sometimes.
It has. It truly has, yeah.
But I think the bigger issue is that there's no magical formula or magical recipe for how to make a good Star Wars movie. The advantage that George Lucas had was that he had an intimate familiarity and understanding of the material, which allowed him to write stories that, while often bad, didn't completely destroy the universe. Not so much with Disney.
I wouldn't call like 3, 4, and 5, 4, 5, and 6 bad. I would call them simple because they are. They're very.
No, I was talking about the prequels.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's where he kind of had no one to hold his leash and tell him, "Hey, you know, I get what you're trying to do, but this isn't." It's like 1999, George. It ain't. It's not 1936.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Now, here's a question. Why, leaving aside business from a purely aesthetic storytelling point of view, why did we need a sequel trilogy at all?
Because money.
But apart from that, from a storytelling point of view, why did we need it?
No, there was
no reason at all.
There was no reason.
Because it ended quite satisfactorily in Revenge of the Sith, and you could, if they wanted to go on doing things, they could do like prequels. You could show the origins of the Republic or something. I mean, there's all sorts of things it could do.
We've done that, but
the thing is, we're kind of going back to the problem that was already mentioned. If that's the case, you can't include the original actors, and if you're going to make a follow-up movie in the Star Wars universe, you need the original cast.
Oh,
by the way, Aspiring is in the back room.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. But yeah, I think this works well for him.
Not impressed.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
To rip this one a new one. Where are we?
We're kind of jumping around a lot because it's just kind of hard to kind of like streamline this process.
It's impossible to streamline this process.
Yeah.
we're trying to talk about like, but I think like one of the major problems is like we were talking a bit about the kind of the no unifying vision part, which is definitely a big problem.
Yeah.
And also like there's just no plan at all with these movies.
I mean, it's not even that there was no plan; there was no potential plan. And it's like this is such a basic thing in writing. It's like while you write, you come up with ideas for where things can go. Apparently, they didn't even have that. It's just this very basic thing. No, just power ahead. Get this out as quickly as possible. Get the money as quickly as possible.
There's also a lot of ego going about with this now.
Yeah.
It does seem as though one thing about this movie that was about these movies that was very frustrating is kind of the fact that as soon as the backlash to TLJ happened, Ryan was very quickly disavowed after being hyped.
Yeah.
Really hardcore.
Yeah, the narrative for what was happening behind the scenes has shifted quite a bit over the course of the 4 years or so that these movies came out.
Yeah, because initially it was like JJ didn't have time to make treatments for the whole trilogy, but after TLJ, the backlash thereof, suddenly he has notes. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's not even that there were notes, it's like there were ideas, there were things that he gave to Ryan that were then discarded, supposedly, even though JJ was writing The Force Awakens while it was filming, and Rian Johnson was writing The Last Jedi as The Force Awakens was filming. So essentially, they were writing separately at the same time, or around the same time period.
Yeah, it did say that apparently that on no less than 3 separate occasions pre Last Jedi that J.J. Abrams was really happy with what Ryan did, and that he was the only thing he was kind of sad that he didn't make that himself.
Well, do remember JJ could not say shit about TLJ without Disney being on his back. We can't really trust what he says.
Oh, undoubtedly. Even if it just kind of seems as though it seemed as though Ryan could do no wrong was the narrative that was going around.
I mean, it's sort of like it's kind of like that Hollywood thing where you basically can't talk shit about each other. Like, you don't diss other directors, you don't diss other writers, and if you do, you're gonna be in some hot water. So it's like first they had to hype up The Force Awakens, then they need to maximize sales for The Force Awakens, so they hype that. They need to maximize sales for TLJ, so they hype that. And then TLJ actually happened, and then they had to switch gears because they still needed to hype up The Rise of Skywalker.
I would never survive.
They basically just threw Ryan under the bus and said, "Yeah, JJ's gonna save it." It's like not explicitly, but that was what was said.
Yeah.
I would never survive in this industry, period. I would just be too cruel to these people.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else left to say? I
mean, Luke's character assassination. we haven't
mentioned that. We haven't even mentioned that.
Character assassination as well.
Well, we already know
Palpatine's
why.
Character assassination.
I mean, we already know about it and why it's bad. I mean, at this point, we're just basically spinning wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think at least we've kind of brought a few new things, like for little goofs, like the 2 Millennium Falcons at the same time. I think we all just universally busted up laughing at that point.
Yeah, we did.
We did some. Oh no!
We forgot about Luke. We kind of forgot about Luke.
Brightness Mecca. Star Wars.
Yeah.
We kids about Luke. Oops. Yep.
I think the problem is just that Luke Skywalker's story has been talked about to death, like why it's bad, and so we're kind of focusing on other things. And it's kind of just, all in all, it's kind of a minor point. It's kind of a minor thing in the movie, really. Since
but it's the reason why.
Disagree.
But it's the reason why so many people hate it. It's the primary reason.
Well, I mean, like the fact that Luke. I guess it's just like it's bad, but it's only in TLJ, and it's promptly forgotten about in Rise of Skywalker.
I guess what maybe mitigates it somewhat is that's kind of blink and you miss it.
No, it's not. It's an entire movie.
No. That part of it is silly. That part of it.
Yeah. Well, kind of just
the thing is, I've mentioned this before. You can't fix it. You need to delete it and start from scratch. But if we absolutely need to go with this, then I would say, if we absolutely need to go with The Force Awakens as something that's set in stone, is like, don't assassinate Luke. That's like the biggest. That's the biggest middle finger to the rest of the saga that you could possibly give, aside from maybe the Palpatine thing. But it's like, if Luke is destroyed, then the emotional core of the original trilogy is destroyed. And also, the only real appeal of a sequel to Return of the Jedi is to see the new Jedi Order. Like, what did Luke do? How did he make himself the Grand Master? What changes did he make? What effect did his order have on the galaxy? Now that appeal is gone because the Jedi Order was destroyed unceremoniously off screen before the plot even begins, and then Luke gets character assassinated.
Yeah. It's kind of a pointless endeavor at that point.
It just
luckily we still have Rey.
Character. So, kind of the funny thing is, as badly written as Rey is, she is not as bad as Sam Witwicky.
Well, I don't know who that is. Who? Rey? Get it?
Yeah.
Shut up. Please, just shut up.
No, I don't think so.
You painful, very painful. Any others?
Oh, that's not the one we want.
No.
Which one?
Stop.
It will be very painful for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that one? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I have that one queued up.
It would be extremely painful for you.
Stop encouraging him.
Nah.
Why? It's hilarious.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't.
Why
No,
did
it
you
is.
have to remind me of that shit?
Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Oh, sorry.
Valerian actor damn age and not like a child.
Well, I was just sort of imitating the style of conversation that seems to have become quite prevalent lately.
Of course.
Which, by the way, Dunchap explicitly said in the guidelines we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, like, you were doing it in jest and not seriously.
I was doing it to sort of make fun of because someone was going after me with no, it isn't. Again.
Yeah, I think like one of the things was kind of just like I think like part of it's just like we kind of take the Rise of Skywalker as most stupid of all the movies and therefore the worst because of just how broken the plot is.
That's another problem, is that people take it too personally. Step back a bit. It's just a film. There's no need to over it.
I said no, it isn't, to you being funny. What the fuck are we on about?
By the way, Nihilist Space Junk, why did you have to put reminders of that shitty scene in the chat?
Yeah.
Though I gotta love how you call them shitties.
That put some weird imagery in my head.
Yeah. But
The thing is, that scene is like, I can name like a dozen different scenes from different series, some of which within Star Wars that have done this sort of spiritual awakening combined with combative climax a trillion times better.
Oh, Avatar, Legend of Korra.
Yeah, or the finale of Star Wars Rebels Season 1 has a better version of this.
The space whales.
No, not the space whales in Season 1.
Oh.
When Kanan beats the Inquisitor.
Yeah, that's basically just a better version of this. Same is like both the Archer fights in Fate's Day Night, Unlimited Playworks have this. The climax in True Detective. Like, there are so many that I can just name off the top of my head.
I want to respond to something Balerian said, though. I want to respond to something he said. He said that these are just movies. It doesn't matter, right? Were you talking about the movies as a whole, or what were you meaning?
I think he's messing around in the kitchen.
God dang it.
Because I want to say something on that. That is, to me, that's insulting. That's very insulting. And I know you have the whole, he's obsessed. You have the whole fan obsessed thing with like Star Trek and everything, where they're made fun of for being nerds. It's being their whole life. No. The reason why these movies are important, especially to me, and I've said this before, is because some of my earliest memories of being alive was watching them with my father. And my uncles and my father. We would go to the movies every time a new Star Wars would come out. Same with Bond, same with Jurassic Park. And we'd go to the theater and we'd have, like a Father's Sunday. We'd go with my brother and my uncles. And we would just enjoy the hell out of it. It didn't matter if it sucked or not, because back then when it sucked, at least it was still a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
entertaining.
Yeah, at least it was still a Star Wars movie, and we're like, okay, this still has the feel of a Star Wars movie. We're enjoying this. We're having a good time. After seeing the new Bond, after seeing all the new Star Wars, I would not want to subject my child to this. I would not, in good consciousness, take my kid to go see anything like this, knowing that it would probably give him bad morals. Like, say what you will. One of the morals of Star Wars, especially with Luke's journey, is that you can always redeem somebody. You can always bring someone back from the darkness. I grew up looking up to characters like Luke Skywalker and James Bond. People who were just always trying to do the right thing. Now, they were cool while doing it, and I never reached that level. But still, there was the moral of you do the right thing. I think if I took my kid to go see Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi, especially those two, my kid would come out of that going, Dad, what the hell was that? And I wouldn't be able to answer them. If they asked me, what do I take from this? I wouldn't be able to tell them that either. In fact, if they saw The Last Jedi, they'd probably tell me, is the world really that bad? And I would just have to tell them, probably at this point. We just walked out of this. The point is that what Balerian said. No, movies like these are important. While you're supposed to get, your morality from a bunch of different places, movies are the best place to put those moralities in perspective. And if you have a bad perspective, you may come out of it thinking, "Oh, morals don't matter." Or what I've been taught my entire life, what dad or mom's been trying to teach me, it don't matter.
I would say stories in general, not just movies, but yeah, the cinnamon remains. I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, what are little girls supposed to take from Ray? That hard things are easy? Now you don't have to work for it?
That if you do something once, you'll be great at it.
That I don't know, if you make a serious fucking mistake, it's not gonna matter because it's just gonna be fixed in the next scene.
I mean,
or even that you're going to be an Ubermensch without any effort at all.
But being honest, I just want to say these movies is honestly the fall of cinema. I mean,
The descent of movie criticism on the internet, I would definitely agree.
Their descent of common writing, common
What
sense.
was I saying before I got muted? What was I saying? There was something I was saying. Like the burning a ship down is easy.
Yeah.
Blowing up a ship is easy.
Yeah.
I must have either I muted myself or Rattler got sick of my going nah and muted me. Either way, fair enough.
No worry, I wasn't worried about your mute. I was the toddling around in the kitchen was getting a little bit annoying, or whatever that was.
Oh, I didn't know you could hear that. I didn't know you could hear any of
we
that.
could.
Yeah.
I said that last time, mate.
But like, there's this idiom in the world of chess that is mostly traced back to a guy named Horvitz. One bad move can nullify 40 good ones.
Yeah.
And this is like 30 bad moves in a row.
Yeah. A major problem that we have here is kind of just, it's so frustrating when kind of people say that these are great and say that that Rey is more complex than Luke and that Kyle is more complex than Vader.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean, that there's just so many YouTubers that are defending these movies, especially what self-proclaimed big critics like Cosmonaut, Chris Stuttman, Patrick Williams, Captain Midnight, Goldman.
Just right.
Watch Mojo.
Just right.
Yep. Just that there's so many of them that defend these movies as great. Just like,
well, I don't even think Watch Mojo defends this.
Well, they ranked Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker the 10th best movie of 2019.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, just there's so many big critics think that these are like great movies, or at least the first two, especially Last Jedi. And it shows us just how out of touch a lot of them are, and just how low they have no standards.
It's also just infuriating to hear them try and prove their point, where they just use stupid analogies like you're missing the forest for the trees. I'm like, can you make an actual point in what I just said?
Yeah, I mean, if Rey's not Mary Sue, who else can be?
Well,
yeah, it's kind of like I
You
think
talked at the same time. Balerion first, then Von Listra, please.
I just going to say that to be fair, she didn't create the world.
Like,
no, she didn't time travel and give birth to the Skywalkers. How much better? She only did so much other shit.
Yeah, it's like when it comes to objective quality, and I've talked about this with you before, Don.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're going to acknowledge the existence of a movie just as a basic thing, then you have to acknowledge that the things that happen in it irrespective of your opinion, and thus they are objective. And when people say, oh no, these are good, and it's a very common thing to say right now for people who are critics of this movie. If you think these movies are good, there is no movie that you can say is bad.
Yeah. Or if Rey is not Mary Sue, you can't claim anybody's a Mary Sue. I mean, it's kind of weird because Cosmonaut claims that Rey's not Mary Sue, but Sabine from Rebels is.
Yeah, when it's the other way around.
I mean, I don't like Sabine either, but I wouldn't say that she's a Mary Sue.
She's kind of a milquetoast character.
Yeah.
She can't fix the entire plot. in
Yeah, I
2
mean, the
seconds.
problem with Sabine is that is her very cramped backstory. I mean, we learned that she used to be part of the Empire. She was from a clan of highly respected Mandalorians, and she used to be a bounty hunter that worked with the Black Sun. I mean, you can only choose one. You can't be all three at once.
So, which is worse, the sequel trilogy or Kirk Cameron's Christmas?
Kirk Cameron.
No, sequel trilogy. Easily.
The sequel trilogy destroys a lot more than Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
What the fuck is that movie?
You know, I forgot until just now. I forgot until just now that medallion thing that Rey had out of nowhere, which entitles her, I guess, to go on first order ships or something. And she has this thing out of nowhere, and they don't need any identification beyond that, apparently.
By the way, Space Junk makes a comment. Yes, you can Transformers 1 to 5. If we're going by a standard through which you can say that these movies are good, then you can apply that standard to Transformers and make them look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Don, what exactly what you mean by milquetoast character?
Bland, doesn't have any characteristics.
We're talking about Sabine, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Sabine, yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering exactly what that meant. Exactly. Well, at least she's not really consistent.
Although it applies to a lot of the characters in this series, too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's just a little better. She's just a little better. In fact, probably even the bad characters, Rebels, which is a lot, even they're still better than the ones here.
Yeah, Sabine at least has a personality. I can guess how she might respond to something I say. Meanwhile, with Rey, I have no fucking idea.
You know, Kanan actually has a story, unlike any of these characters.
There's actually like an attempt to do some good writing in Rebels. It doesn't always do much, but
I've seen better writing in Yu-Gi-Oh than in these sequel trilogies.
Yeah.
I've seen better writing in Beyblade than in the sequel trilogy.
I've seen there's Legend of the Seeker is infinitely better than this show in these.
Oh
movies.
yeah, it is.
What? Are you comparing Legend of the Seeker to this? Don't even think of doing that ever again.
Why? Because it's good and these are not.
Because
Don't
yes.
take it too personally, Balerion.
I actually, believe it or not, I acted on that show.
So we all love Legend of the Seeker. It's dumb fantasy schlock, but we like it, and
It's
there are some things to like that are like genuinely good things.
Yeah,
Like, the characters are good people.
It's good. It's good fantasy schlock.
Mm-hmm. It's like Hercules and Xena, but with a slightly better budget. But,
I mean, I guess visually the films are better.
Yeah,
but that doesn't really matter that much.
No, I would agree. It doesn't really matter. Oh, what are we missing in the chat? Seeker is peak TV. Except for Dennis, she can go hang with Rey. Oh no, horrible thought. Oh no, Reyna.
I hope by hang she means hang.
yeah.
Reyna. Oh no.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch our reaction to Legend of the Seeker, all of the commentaries are currently up on Rumble.
And we did a review on YouTube. So if you don't want to do Rumble, there's a review on YouTube.
All right.
Well, on Rumble, you get to watch the episodes with us.
Yeah, which is more fun.
Yeah, and you get all kinds of terrible jokes where I make Becca extremely uncomfortable, and it's funny.
You're disgusting.
Very funny.
That is
You're
peak
revolting,
entertainment
but
done bothering Becca.
you're revolting, right, Lord?
I know. Yes.
Yes, you're proud of it too.
Of course.
Well, I think it's it for me. Like, I got to start editing my Transformers video. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you.
Have a riot.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll be leaving shortly too. Not yet, but shortly.
I am frickin' wholesome as heck. Shush. True to a certain extent. Any other like final thoughts on these movies? I'm kind of just like, there's nothing really more to talk about. Like, these are kind of the most like these kind of beat out the prequels as the most talked about movies on the internet.
But
yeah, maybe one thing that I should probably add in terms of the writing is how the Force is completely busted as a concept.
Yeah.
So, in the original trilogy, the Force is this vaguely explained field of energy, blah blah blah. It's quite grounded in terms of what it can do, which prevents it from being a plot-solving Deus Ex Machina factory. And instead, it's more used as a backdrop for personal choice, self-discipline, growth, and that sort of feeds into the mystical ethos that is the Force. None of this is in the sequel trilogy at all. The Force is just splay hands, effect happens. It's a magical Deus Ex Machina factory that is entirely arbitrary, completely plot convenient superpower that can do whatever the writer wants at any time.
Well, that's the thing. Even in Force Awakens, Finn just says, "We'll use the Force," and it's said as a joke, but it legitimately acts like a Deus Ex Machina now.
And we're back to destroy. And we're back to burning down spaceships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or like really weird stuff like Captain, like it kind of seems like with Captain Phasma, I don't know what they were thinking with Captain
Nothing.
Phasma.
They weren't
honestly.
thinking anything with Captain Phasma.
Oh, are we back to lacking characters now?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to do like some like just final thoughts, but like my final thoughts are just these movies are terrible. They have no
They are
redeeming
awful.
value.
What unique thoughts you have.
They're kind of boring.
Yeah. Well, I know that White was dying inside watching Rise of Skywalker, and it was really funny.
He like left.
Blame him.
He left and he came back and they left. They came back.
Tarek actually died. He came in because he was bored, then left because he was bored.
Pretty much, yes.
Like, I have a little funny anecdote for this. So, I was basically already done with the sequel trilogy by the time The Rise of Skywalker came out. But I went to watch it in cinema with my dad and my younger brother. And when the title showed up on screen, The Rise of Skywalker, I was like, you know, I'll give this movie a chance. Maybe it will be a decent enough family experience. Then I saw the first 2 lines of the opening crawl. I burst out laughing. And that was that was basically my reaction for the whole movie. I was laughing and groaning and throwing my hands up, all silently, because I don't want to interrupt people. But it's like, this was the first time where I was so thoroughly pulled out that there was basically nothing for me to latch onto in anything. Like, even The Last Jedi had something for me to latch onto. This one didn't. Like, No Time to Die had things for me to latch onto. This one didn't.
What about BB-8 being cute?
Not even that, because BB-8 is barely in the movie.
Oh.
And yet there
I,
are people who do feel like they can latch onto Rey for the sole reason that she is a female Jedi.
Ahsoka is way better. Cope.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yes, Becca. You know exactly what I mean when I say that.
or the weird. There was actually a weird thing that I think weird like fan theory that somebody came up with. Basically, the idea was that Kylo Force impregnates Rey, and as they're fighting Palpatine, she goes back in time and becomes Shmi Skywalker, Anakin's mom.
That would have probably been worse than everything.
No,
it would.
no,
But
I
honestly
would
laugh more.
I would have preferred that because that meant that truly this universe dies here because there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, time travel's possible in Star Wars, so
It is now.
yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Well,
'Cause-
technically, there are quite a few instances in the EU of this via things like time dilation with hyperspace. There's some weirdness with it.
time dilation is fine. That's a slowing and speeding up of time, which does happen in real life. Time travel is a completely different beast, and they fucking brought
Yeah.
someone back to life for that.
I think I killed James Knighton's brain. I don't know what that's referring to, but that's the only thing I can think of. It's just Rey is Shmi Skywalker. I think it would be one of the dumbest decisions they could possibly make.
What
It
the?
really is.
At least, if she was, I would have seen Rey die. At least
The
it would
fun-
give
the
me
funny
that
thing
benefit.
is, Daisy Ridley does like Pernilla August and Daisy Ridley do look kind of similar. I will say that.
But here's the thing. I doubt Rey can age. She is a fucking Mary Sue on steroids. She will remain pure and perfect even if you were to take a planet and smash it into her.
Yeah, you can dump a moon on her like they did with Chewie in the EU, and she'd probably be fine.
She'd shrug it off.
She did shrug it off. She shrugged off Palpatine sucking the life force out of her.
What even was that? It was such a stupid thing where, like, I can absorb your energies. It's like, okay, so you're sucking the Force energies. Can they not use the Force anymore? Nope. Both are able to use the Force. Both of them. What consequence was there for that?
None whatsoever. I need to get that clip. So many good
Yeah,
quotes from
you know that one clip from True Detective that I sent you, Don? That's basically a metaphor for the sequels.
Yeah. It kind of is. I don't have that. I forgot to put that in there.
I caught zero logic in all that.
Mhm.
And that last bit, pure gibberish.
Alrighty. Well, I think that we've pretty much covered these movies thoroughly. If you want to watch our thoughts on the individual movies, we have a stream on Force Awakens. We have a 16 hours of streaming on Last Jedi, and a couple hours on Rise of Skywalker. And I will try my best to arrange them into a playlist so that you guys can watch all of them. Rumble, for whatever reason, doesn't have playlist ability. At least I haven't played around with that yet. I don't think it does. But I think that's all my thoughts on the movie. That it's pretty bad. There's
Here's my
really
thoughts.
Go
Let me
for
do my
it.
thoughts real quick. If you like these movies for any reason, if you think they're good for any reason, you have the brain capacity of a fucking 1-year-old who has brain cancer. Fuck off.
You bad. Yes, I am quite evil. I know. Because eventually we're gonna do the Disney remakes.
Oh.
I want to cry, but I'm just laughing.
Can good movies become a thing again? Can we have more of those, please?
Oh, they are a thing. Dunn just refuses to show them.
Well, we're going to be watching the Evil Dead remake and Ash vs. the Evil Dead, and then Wheel of Time.
I had to stream those.
At least we got Mission Impossible 7 and the Batman to look forward to next year.
And Wheel of Time might be good.
No.
I forgot that exists. God damn it! What is the most recent good movie that came out?
Like a remake never happened.
Here's what you got to realize. Wheel of Time is going to serve as sort of like a preview into what the Lord of the Rings show will look like.
Let's see. I think the last good movie would have been like The Green Knight or something.
Or Extraction. Extraction with
Extraction. That was like back in 2018, wasn't it?
No, Extraction is 2020.
Oh.
The last good movie I saw in theaters was Sonic the Hedgehog. Unironically.
Oh. And when was that?
February of 2021.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad then.
I apologize. I meant February of 2020.
Oh, still, that's not too bad.
It's been about a year and 8 months
since we've seen since a good movie came out.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm looking at the thing. The highest grossing movies of 2020 are so far Shang-Chi is number 1.
What?
Yep.
I haven't even watched it.
$213 million.
How much of that is from the US?
I don't know, but it didn't even make its budget back since it. Oh wait, no, it's okay. So its budget was $200 million, and its box office was $403 million. So I don't think it made money, since usually marketing is twice the budget.
Okay, so I got a.
I'm just thinking most
marketing
of it
usually
came from
doubles
China.
the budget.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume China's the only reason it's made that much money.
I liked Coming to America, the sequel to Coming to America. Apparently Godzilla vs. Kong was fine, just stupid.
No.
Pardon me a moment. I'm gonna go off on my walk now, so I'll see you later.
Yeah. The Godzilla movies do not give enough action to make up for shitty human plots.
Yeah.
I like Godzilla vs. King Kong, and if you don't like it, you're just wrong.
We get less than 20 minutes of good action, and then most of it is just stupid cringe and fat.
But you forget, monkey fight lizard, it make me laugh.
That doesn't make up for the whole movie. Just watch the YouTube clips.
The hell it didn't. I got to watch a giant monkey beat up a giant lizard. I was clapping like a trained seal.
That's only 20 minutes, though. You have to suffer.
That's only 20 minutes, though.
I will
apparently
not
The Lighthouse
suffer
was
through the
good.
shitty actors for over an hour.
Yeah,
For
I've
20
heard that
minutes
The
of
Lighthouse was really good.
That was 2019, and that was a terrific movie.
Army of the Dead by Zack Snyder.
Oh, that was a piece of shit.
No. That movie is not even in focus.
No. I have
even The Room has better camera work than this.
That movie. It was one of the stupidest. You think Kong versus Godzilla was bad? This was the true piece of shit, because there was maybe 5 minutes of action in this movie.
I just hear Zack Snyder and zombies and think, nope.
Wow. Most of 2021 is just bad.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah.
Space Jam: A New Legacy.
No. Don't even talk about it.
And to be clear, we're not
Snake
even
Eyes was
mentioning
bad.
the shows. We're not even mentioning the stupid shows.
Jungle Book Cruise apparently was fine.
That was actually a lot better than I thought it would be. I won't lie.
I've heard bad things about the Tomorrow War.
Yeah, so
yeah, I've heard it's like incomprehensible. Some 50 minutes through. Quiet Place Part 2.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's terrible.
Really?
Yeah, Cruella. That was pretty shit.
The Suicide Squad.
That was
I've heard that one was like okay.
It's the best DC movie. I still think it's not great, but it's watchable.
It's decent. But
at least it has likable characters in it.
Except for Margot Robbie, who needs to just stop.
Yeah. She was good in she was good in Wolf of Wall Street, and she kind of hasn't been very good since.
Yeah.
Let's see. From what I've heard, Venom 2 was okay.
I haven't seen that one yet.
You'll find this extremely amusing. Guess what shows up on the list of American films in 2021?
What?
The Kissing Booth 3.
No.
What?
I'm
Kissing Booth 3. Are you fucking with me?
I'm so glad I have not heard of this.
Oh man.
Well, come on, details. What is this?
Netflix. Fucking hell.
Netflix. Fuck you, Netflix.
What
are you doing?
Go for it.
It sounds like a Bollywood movie, like just the title, like one of those Bollywood comedies.
No, it's a teen high school movie.
Well, yeah, I got that, but I thought it would be like a Bollywood teen high school movie.
No, it's American. Everybody's white.
Wow.
Honestly, though, if it was Bollywood, it'd be even more shit.
It would at least be weird enough to be interesting.
It would be weird and funny, but it would still be shit.
Basically, this Kissing Booth basically is the story of two best friends that have a weird list, and the boy out of the two friends is psychotically obsessed with making sure that these rules happen, including one that says no dating siblings. And then she just gets a crush on his brother.
Why do I feel like this was written by Dunn? That rule is made just for Dunn.
No dating each other's siblings, not dating each other.
Oh, okay.
No dating. Like, basically, I am not allowed, like, we're friends, and I'm not allowed to date Tark's sister.
Well, my sister's taken. And we're friends? Friends doing this to friends?
Tarek, friends torture each other. That's a fact now.
Yay, I'm in.
Was that even on purpose?
Possibly. I don't know.
I'm surprised you knew I had a sister.
By the way,
I was just using a metaphor, actually. I didn't even know you had siblings. I was just guessing.
There is a good chance that you will have a sibling, and a good chance it will be a sister. So
yeah.
By the way, on the numbers.com, top grossing movies of 2021, second place is Black Widow.
Yeah.
Because people are stupid.
Let me in.
All people are fucking stupid. I want everyone in the world to just die.
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat came out this year.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah, on a related note to terrible movies these days, I have been watching episode 1 relentlessly for the last couple of days to write down notes for a project I have, and I am tempted to throw them on Replica server just to see the fucking fire that'll happen. I will set his server on fire.
Hold on. That troglodyte has a server.
How can he even run it? He doesn't have the brain capacity to probably make one.
Damn, guys.
There's
Me and Dunn didn't roast him this hard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had to edit an hour fucking video listening to this guy talk. I'm not in the mood to be nice to him.
Oh, right. You were making like highlights, weren't you?
I was making a meme cut.
Oh, apparently there's another Resident Evil movie coming out in November. And you'll find the title rather amusing. Guess what it is, folks?
Resident Evil.
No, Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City.
That's not the full title, is it? No, hold on. Seriously, that's not the full title, is it? I thought it was just being called Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 2020. Yeah, it is Welcome to Raccoon City.
I saw a poster of this when it was seeing Bond.
Welcome to Raccoon City. Okay.
Whatever.
Alert.
The pansexual
Witness
raccoon.
the origin of evil in the new trailer for Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City.
The pansexual raccoons that have been in a meme in this chat were prophetic.
Man, whatever.
We have another. There's a remake of Diary of a Wimpy Kid coming out in December. What?
Oh no! Fuck off! Fuck you!
I don't even remember the first one. There was a movie about that in the first place.
There was
Yes,
there was a movie, the
there were
Wimpy Kids,
like
the first
three.
one, the
I think there
second
were
one,
three.
and Dog
I think
Days.
there were 3 live-action
Yeah.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid films.
They did 3. One of the first, second, and Dog Days, I think, which was 4th.
Good dog.
I know.
Which they're all cringe, honestly. Wimpy Kid movies are cringe.
They kind of are, yeah.
Especially
Yep.
Phantom Menace. More
Oh, yeah,
specifically, Jar Jar.
Malignant came out this year.
What was that movie?
That's a horror movie by James Wan with a conjoined telepathic twin.
You know,
Is it good?
you know,
No.
if my lead. Oh my god! Like I just got to the Senate scene in Phantom Menace, and I just like, oh my god, please! It's like no, it's like I'm gonna vote a no confidence for this chancellor because fucking he can't. Let me explain this a bit better. It's
I'm a 14-year-old girl demanding that the president of the galaxy step down.
yeah, no, it's more than just that. It's step down because you want to find out who is right in the situation because all he's doing is essentially I don't know who's right, so I'm going to send someone to figure it out. And she's like, I vote no confidence because I'm retarded.
And I'm a teenager, which does
Yeah,
not mean that she
it's-
should have any kind of sway in the government. It really, she should be like dismissed.
Also, Valorum is like basically her only powerful ally in this.
Yeah.
And
That's worth
people are
pointing out.
and people are like, oh, his Palpatine's so cunning. I'm like, no, that is not a
No, Palpatine succeeds by way of Padme being stupid.
Yeah.
How have we talked about sequels being shit, the prequels being shit? What the fuck?
I've been watching Phantom Menace like the last couple of days, like I just said earlier, and I've just been taking notes and pondering shit.
Space Junk, you say this ironically, but that first and part of the second line is ironically something Replica would say. You all just don't get it.
I mean, I literally gave done, and I think I threw a document of it in your done server, an older version. I have significantly improved it.
That too, yeah.
Chaos Walking with Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland.
I
have heard nothing but terrible things about that.
Cats and Dogs 3 came out in 2020. I forgot about that movie.
Thanks, I didn't need that.
Oh yeah, we got the Monster Hunter movie in 2020 by the same guy who did the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of that because of EFAP.
Oh yeah, we got the Pointless Sopranos prequel.
Wait,
just
put
2
it.
weeks ago.
The thing is, no cover people's lives are on the line. But the thing is, you're looking at this through the lens of someone who's seeing the movie, not the Chancellor himself. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. All he knows is that there's 2 people bickering. Like, no, you did this. No, I did not. And he's like, I don't know who's right or wrong. I'm just going to send someone to figure out what's happening. Because this could be all bullshit. for one eyesight or the other.
There's a third. There's a third cat. There's a Cats and Dogs 3. Yeah, apparently there's a cat. Yeah, there's a Cats and Dogs 3. I saw it in stores and asked, "What on earth is going on? Why is this a thing?"
Yeah, and also the Pointless Sopranos prequel came out just 2 weeks ago.
The Witches remake. That was apparently meh.
Dear Evan Hansen. Which is getting destroyed on Twitter right now.
The Princess Switch and Princess Switch 2 came out on Netflix.
Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins.
Yeah.
The Addams Family 2.
We've had nothing but bad movies.
It's all been shit.
Yeah.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh yeah, I remember it. No, I watched that on a Disney cruise because I was bored and I didn't like it. It was weird.
Why did you go on a Disney cruise?
This was in 2011.
So before they went to shit.
Yes.
Wait,
Dan, I'm
Raya and
sending
the
you
Last
a-
Dragon only came out this year. How would you watch it on a Disney cruise in 2011?
Dan, I just sent you. Oh, okay.
Oh, go for it.
I just sent you a newer copy of my notes. If you want to take a gander, I guess.
Yeah, I can do it too if you're.
So petition for Dunn to now explain the plot Princess Switch. That's going to be difficult since I don't really know the plot other than Vanessa Hudgens is playing 3 people and there's a bunch of like weird swaps and it's apparently set at Christmas time.
Oh, hey, The Father came out in March of this year.
Okay, apparently that was pretty good. Oh yeah, we had Wonder Woman 1984.
No, that was last year.
Yeah, I know that was last year. I'm just recounting movies that happened last year.
Oh yeah, the Snyder Cut happened this year.
Yeah, and that was so bad I actually fell asleep. It's really hard for me to fall asleep in a movie,
really
mate.
bad, yeah.
Petition to sit through the Princess Switch and explain.
I think that's fair considering how much you forced us to go through such pain.
I
watched
the movies with you.
And you're chuckling all the way going.
You laugh at our pain. That's your real entertainment.
Well, the thing is, you're probably going to be laughing at my pain when Wheel of Time comes out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And especially when the Amazon Lord of the Rings comes out.
Oh,
are
yeah,
you
I will
offline
be-
on? Oh, there you are. You were offline on Discord. That's why I couldn't find you.
Yeah, I will be unbelievably mad if Wheel of Time. I'm already seeing some red flags like Aspiring. You remember how Moraine came in incognito?
Yeah.
That's not in the show. Apparently, Egwene's mom immediately recognizes her as Aes Sedai and announced that she is Aes Sedai in the middle of the room.
Why would Egwene immediately recognize that?
Well, Egwene's mom.
Egwene, what the fuck? Why? Just okay. This is gonna already be bad.
Yeah, I watched. They aired a clip on online, and I'm just like, wait, what?
Why can't you guys just stick to the source material since you guys are too stupid to actually write shit?
There's also kind of just an odd thing with like Wheel of Time. Like Wheel of Time does have like African black characters in it, like that are like black skin, that have dark skin. What's kind of weird, it seems like they're kind of introducing some tokenism into Wheel of Time by putting people who are African black in the Two Rivers and people who look Indian into the Two Rivers, even though, like, I guess you could say that, like, because Andor has had, like, that kind of skin coloration in the past, but it's just kind of like, this place is supposed to be kind of isolated as a what's left of Manetheren, this old kingdom has barely any contact with the outside world.
Honestly, if it doesn't do much more than just the barest of tokenism, I'm not going to give enough shits. It's not going to affect the story or plot, as far as I'm concerned. It's not like it's important.
Well,
hey, the Tom and Jerry movie came out this year.
It actually, at least at least Rand kind of looks the same because that's a plot point because he's not from the Two Rivers.
Yeah, like when appearance matters, then I'll get frustrated. I was like, okay, you're gonna switch some of their races. I'm fine with that. It's not like it was too important. You'll still keep going. Just keep going. My standards have lowered for you people. Please try and not make them lower.
Yeah.
It's like our standards are kind of at the bottom of this point after the Snyder Cut and the sequels and the Transformers movies and Game of Thrones Season 8. You can't get lower than this.
But the problem, like, Egwene already in the books is kind of a cunt, so I'm already wondering how much more of an absolute unbearable piece of shit are they gonna make her with all the female empowerment? They already make good female characters cunts in their new shit. I don't need a cunt to become even more of a cunt.
I love your bluntness.
I don't like Egwene right now. Egwene has just frustrated me. She just acts like a dick.
Cunt.
Oh, I didn't realize Nihilus made another comment on our little topic. I'm on my tablet right now because Wi-Fi's out, so it's hard for me to figure it out.
Yeah.
If they somehow make Egwene somehow less,
so that probably
likable,
doesn't
I will be
mean.
shocked.
Oh, okay. Let me read this. Told them what was going on. Fixes. It doesn't mean it.
Why are we calling him Shigeus?
It's probably a typo. Told him what was going on, but the trade fish reflects his influence. No, though she made an allegation, they denied it, and the chancellor has no evidence on either side. I mean, what do you want him to do?
Yeah, well, it creates another problem of why didn't they put the Jedi there? The whole thing about the Jedi being sent a secret in and of itself is stupid.
Well, they sort of allude to an explanation in the.
I haven't finished the movie yet.
The Chancellor doesn't have any real power. The bureaucrats have all the power. Blah blah blah. But it's like that's not enough, really.
It's just little lines here and there that and it just don't really work together. Yeah, most of the plot for the trailer, as they said, the trailer is basically 80% original content that I don't recognize. I don't have any experience with 40K, so I wouldn't be able to. Sorry.
Let's see, what was the question?
I know, like, with kind of the air, like, we pretty much have stuff pretty much planned out for them for a really long time. I know that one thing that I would like to do is, I know I'm giving White and Tarek some satisfaction by saying, hey, let's watch Evil Dead for Evil Dead. Let's just make this the month of Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And I'm also considering, like, for Mondays, either making it like just miscellaneous movie Monday, where just somebody will pick one of their favorite movies and we'll just watch it Saturday and then talk about it Monday.
Talking about good movies.
What a weird thing.
Concept.
No.
I will agree that it can't be judged until it comes out. I'm just noticing a number of red flags.
It does not seem to be in good hands, Book of Ajah. That's the point of us being like, trailer does not appear to be following anything from the books. Warning signs have been put up.
Yeah, I don't think that my hope is not very high since most of Amazon's output is not very good. Like it's like The Boys, especially season 2. Like Boys season 1, like a 4 to 5 out of 10. Boys season 2 is a 2 out of 10. And Invincible was decent.
That wasn't.
Really?
Invincible's the pacing is shit. The characters are a bit messed up, especially the stupid chick. I'm sorry, I needed to pick a different C word for this one because I'm using cunt too much because of Becca.
What? Wait, why does that have to do with my girlfriend?
She said language.
You trying to say something, boy?
Yeah. But yeah, it's not a good show. The power scaling is absolute shit. The plot makes only honestly, the plot kind of breaks in the last few episodes where it's like, what the hell are you doing at this point? What is your motivation? It's not a good show. And from people I trust, it's also poorly animated. I can't tell because I don't have an eye for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Good Omens
since
was
we're
good.
talking about so many bad TV shows, I should recommend you a good one. True Detective Season 1. Go watch it.
Heard of it.
Never seen it.
Go do so. It's on HBO. Like normal HBO, not even HBO Max.
Yeah, but and then let's let's do a lecture where we educate.
How about we don't?
There's so much stuff. Like
I mean, I can probably give you a basic rundown of it.
Yeah.
How about you just give him an article that summarizes it? Lol, I scare aspiring. You threaten me with carrots on a daily basis. You've made me choke several times.
Especially
with carrots, to make sure no one gets any other imagery on how else she might be choking me.
Detective Conan, that's a thing?
Yep, that is a
what?
thing.
What? Oh,
Detective-
the anime Detective Conan?
Detective Conan the Barbarian?
No, it's an anime that's been running a very long time.
Been running like since the 70s at least.
I thought it was like the 60s.
The Detective Conan.
How long is it to be running for that many years?
Just to put this in perspective, the plot point is that this detective is turned into a little boy again. The series has run so long, even though he regressed in age, by this point he should be like a senior citizen.
Oh wait.
hell?
It only came out in 96?
There's no.
No way.
Well,
time is a concept you two cannot understand.
So, any other questions from the chat? So currently, like, if I'm going to tell you the lineup for the schedule, the current lineup is we're going to be doing Ash Evil Dead and Ash vs. Evil Dead. We'll probably do a stream Monday, either Monday or Tuesday on the Evil Dead remake and the other Evil Dead movies. And kind of and then we're going to alternate doing 2 episodes a week of Ash vs. Evil Dead. And then in the middle of November, we will start watching The Wheel of Time. And we'll basically, how that's going to work is we're going to watch it either this Saturday or Sunday before it comes out. And then we will and then we'll do a book readers stream and a show watcher stream for that one when that comes out. And then I think after that we'll do Legend of the Seeker season 2 and finish that show up, and then we'll decide from there what we're doing. Probably either Disney remakes or Once Upon a Time.
We're done with the Hibbert book, Tushar.
Yep,
oh, fucking Christ.
Yeah, we're done with the
Thank
Hibbert book.
goodness.
We ended a while back. Yeah.
That's a while ago now. You have a whole playlist for it.
Framing Monsters. There's 2 chapters left on that one. I don't know if that would even be I don't know. I don't know if there's anything there, like, we've now covered the worst bit, which was his Jurassic Park and feminism chapter.
I don't want to hear it.
Do you remember that? Where Jurassic Park is about monstrous femininity being put down by the patriarchy, quite literally.
Are you fucking with me, Don?
Misa don't like this.
The fuck?
No, I'm not screwing with you. I have proof.
Don't you fucking tempt him.
What is this? What movie?
Framing Monsters,
You fucking asshole.
Fantasy film and social alienation by
You
Joshua
dirtbag.
David Bellin.
You're all a bunch of dirtbags. Stop tempting him.
He's not tempting him, he's tempting us. I need to know what the fuck this travesty is.
Learn that in your own time. I don't want to hear.
Well, no, you can hear it, and
no.
Wait, I love how Naz just said, "Wait, what? Done? What are you saying?" Allow me to pull up the YouTube video that first introduced me to this man.
All right, Dunn, I gotta get going.
Okay.
I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
See ya, mate.
Allow me to pull it up. Yeah,
Allow me to die.
The video that I found is called Jurassic Park and Gender. And it's got the most asinine product placement I've ever seen. Can you guess what that product is? It's called From.
Wait. He has a discussion on the Lord of the Rings movies.
I don't think it's really there. I think the chapter is there, but I don't think that he really mentions it much. Let me find the book.
I'm looking at the description on Goodreads. It's like, okay, it talks about King Kong, The Wizard of Oz, Sinbad Trilogy, Aliens, Jurassic Park, Species, 12 Monkeys, The Cell, Edward Scissorhands, Beauty and the Beast, X-Men, and Lord of the Rings.
We've watched this on another stream.
I know, but basically, like, the movie, it actually has like actual quotes from Joshua David Bellin's book. But basically, how it is Jurassic Park represents the patriarchal family as threatened and besieged by monstrous women, while at the same time seeking to resolve the threat and absolve the father by collapsing ideology into biology.
Hold on a minute here. I just realized 11,000 people, retarded people, like this.
11,000 likes.
People are retarded. If you didn't know.
Well, the
Yes,
thing
they
is,
are.
it's had over 100K views, but only 10,000 dislikes. So engagement isn't that.
Only 300 dislikes. 11K retards who don't know what critical thinking is.
I don't know why, but nobody seems to ever like respond to my comments. I don't know why.
Because they can't. Besides, you're racist.
No, I think a white dude is overprivileged. I'm not racist by their logic. Since he looks like a skinhead. Like, unironically, like, Mr. Bellin looks like a skinhead. Like, look at him. He looks like a skinhead.
He kind of does.
Yeah. But yeah, like, Lister, you haven't heard of this?
No, I've heard about Framing Monsters, and I heard that you guys were talking about a video called Saurian Cinema. But, man, I did not think the rabbit hole went this deep.
Oh, this one's funny.
And I didn't know that the video and the book were connected.
It's how I found the book. Look, it's prideful violators of natural and other But on the other, it celebrates the right of patriarchy to rule a female world depicted as chaotic and unpredictable.
We keep it there when we think about the episode. One hand, the film presents men as
I said it before, I'll say it again. Exterminatus preparatus.
Talking, what even is this coherent man?
Silence, all of you.
To rule the female world.
By the way, that's
talking
a
about
Warhammer
reading
40K
too much from the
reference.
sun.
Yeah, and the worst part is you can't even find this book for free online or on. You can't find it. You can't even get a Kindle copy. I had to purchase a physical frickin' copy of this dang book.
Why did you waste your money, Dunn? What is wrong with you?
Because it was hilarious. Like, take a look. Like, I gotta show you guys this.
Couldn't you find it in a library or something?
I don't think so. But this is kind of an example of a page of this book looks like.
What do you mean you don't think so? If it was from the library, how overdue must it
It's
be
nothing
if
but
you were
pixels
unaware?
to me, but it's fine.
No, couldn't you just borrow it and then give it back and then borrow it later?
Well, I just
Yeah,
don't know
but-
if the library even has it. Even had it. I didn't check.
You should always check rather than waste your money on cringe. Also, damn, you look very different than what I thought you would. Yet at the same time, your voice fits.
What did you think I looked like?
I don't know. There's always me, but people never look like how I think they sound. Partially because I probably just imagine their face as being their PFPs and never actually imagine their face.
Yeah, I do it too.
Damn.
And also,
Ooh.
my voice does not fit my face at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've shown my face a few times.
It has it on his
Yeah,
books.
he has.
Yeah. I have it on my book, so I figure my face is out on the internet, it doesn't matter.
Considering I hate how my voice sounds, I'm doing a face reveal.
Damn. Fake news.
Yeah. There's also like funny, very, very amusing stuff like, ooh, this one. The abdication of the paternal role. Men's trifling in reproduction outside the nuclear unit has loosed a band of screeching harpies who rend and tear those foolish enough to court them.
I want to die.
Yeah, there was.
Reduction of the pro.
There was just the face
Parental
reveal from Dunn.
Yeah. One of 5 or 6. I revealed my face multiple times.
Rent and tear those foolish enough to court.
I mean, how
them.
many people have done face reveals on this channel? So you and Semi-Balerian.
Neff accidentally did one, but I edited it out because she asked me to.
Oh. Huh.
It was an accident on one of the writer's show because she pressed the wrong she pressed the wrong button. So she asked me, hey, can you edit that out? I don't feel comfortable with my face being on the internet. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. Ooh,
Blur it to... Yeah.
Oh, go for it, sorry.
No, I was just saying you can easily just blur it out of existence.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, it was like a millisecond, so it was fine. Oh, this is one of the quotes about Alien. The misogyny of Aliens, the final scene, has often been analyzed on a psychosexual level as the refusal of the monstrous feminine of the archaic devouring mother, but it also has a historically specific political meaning. Can you guess what that political meaning is?
I don't even want to think about it, so just say it.
If Ripley is the prototypical
Nuclear unit.
If Ripley is the prototypical upper-class wasp, the alien queen bears a suspicious resemblance to a favorite scapegoat of the Reagan-Bush era, the black welfare mother, that parasite in the economy whose uncurbed reproductive drive reduced hard-paying taxpayers to bankruptcy.
Oh, well, you want to die even more now.
Exterminatus preparatus.
It's all noise.
It gets
Really,
better.
it is.
This is one of my favorite
Stop
bits.
the noise.
One of my favorite
You can
things.
tell that this book was written by someone who has an IQ of 5 and thinks it's 500.
Let's see. Where's the moment where it talks about?
I'm still stuck on nuclear unit. Men trifling in reproduction outside the nuclear unit. The
I
fuck is your
cannot wait.
sex
It's
life?
nuclear, not nuclear.
I cannot waste a single brain cell on this. I still got to finish my Phantom Menace notes.
It's like I already
Stop it,
think
Dad.
I think that reading through Fire Cannot Kill a Dragon has already made me dumber. It's like I'm very worried about this now.
No,
we've done
no, I don't
multiple
want to see
streams
his
on
face
this.
again. Stop it.
Oh look, there he is. Apparently he's written other things. What did Doug just say? I just said that aliens represents wasps versus black welfare moms. There, I saved you 5 minutes.
You.
I know.
Honestly, EFAB needs to cover this video.
Oh my god,
Yes.
I think they'll die.
They would laugh their butts off.
They need more things to laugh at.
So
Oh, they need to do Maggie. They need to do Maggie. Some of Maggie's video. I think that would be amazing.
I swear to God, if they drag me into another fucking Maggie video.
Oh, this one. Ooh. Oh. This one's funny.
Oh, for fuck's sake, not this one.
What?
Oh, memory lane.
this?
It is a cruel thing. Sometimes. Oh.
I think I just killed you. I think I just killed you, didn't I?
No, I'm still immortal. I'm still immortal. You can't kill me. You can only drive me to the edge of insanity.
Me.
That turns into a.
Oh fuck no! Stop it!
It turns
A
into a
match
terror.
evocative of a 50s era lover's lane.
Can we talk about something that's not brain dead?
The stupidity of this is
not
through
this one.
the roof.
The entire point of the stream is to talk about things that are brain dead. Look at the title.
Well, and also just like, here's the funny thing. This book is filled with these quotes, and this video is basically just him plagiarizing the book. Just citing the book at nauseum.
Oh, J.J. Abrams Jr.? Oh, I guess it goes in the family.
No, I would say Bringing Monsters is worse written than the sequels.
I want to find this author and remove his brain from his skull and put in a 3D printed one. He would probably be more intelligent afterwards.
Vaughn, you assume too much. You assume he had one in the first place. Okay, you're assumption man over here. Jesus, just assuming everything.
Assumption man.
Oh.
Yeah. I made it up in one of my older videos.
Well, if you want to see us, we have a stream about this video. You can watch it. We also have multiple streams covering the entirety of this book.
Oh boy.
In quotation marks.
Yeah. Though we got as far as chapter
Encyclopedia Rhetorica.
Yeah, we got through 136 pages, 4 chapters, and there are 7, I believe. No, 6. But it takes us like 2 to 3 streams to get through one chapter, and some of those streams are like 3 to 4 hours long.
I'm getting James Herbert's flashbacks.
No, at least James Hibbert.
This sounds worse than Hibbert.
It actually is, yeah. Hibbert is at least like coherent. This is mostly
I'm just talking about the book and learning all this stupid shit.
Framing Monsters is less unethical than Fire Can't Kill a Dragon, but it's worse written. The word salad on display is far worse. But let me see.
This is like the wet dream of every video essayist on YouTube, essentially.
Pretty
bunch of big words, insane comparisons, complete misrepresentations of absolutely everything into an absolutely bullshit narrative.
Wait, you're forgetting one thing. Van, you have forgotten one key important thing that they always share. You want to guess?
That they're pretentious as fuck.
Sad piano music. Last Jedi makes you feel things.
I found his comments on Lord of the Rings. They're minimal, but they're terrible.
I had never heard him bust out that fucking much. Jesus.
Okay.
All right,
Here it
before
is.
you go, I actually do have to leave.
Oh.
Are you holding it in? You don't have to hold it in the stream. You can go to the bathroom.
Becca, please show up tomorrow for the showcase so you can fucking comment on the chapter. I need people to hear this one.
So this is it's in his conclusion. I just looked up his Lord of the Rings references. He only references Lord of the Rings on page 419, 196, and 197.
Oh, dear God.
That's already way too many.
Yeah. You do not deserve to be mentioned in the same sentence as Build a Pony's crap.
Glory kill time.
Yeah, you don't deserve to eat Build a Pony's crap.
Build a Pony's crap is unironically better than this book, just from what I've seen of it.
Doom 2016 glory kills because they're better.
Yeah. So, okay. In many respects, the signs are less than promising in regards to fantasy films. I concur, for example, that the first two installments of George Lucas's second Star Wars trilogy, The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, stuffed with racial and ethnic slurs, the evil Trade Federation Quislings, with their over-the-top Japanese accents and wardrobes, the simple-minded carefree Gungans with their minstrel shows stepping and fetching, the ruthless desert slave trader Watto with his stereotyped Semitic stubble and avarice. Similarly, I was disheartened that the sole African-American character in Jurassic Park 3, a character whose role is so insignificant that anybody could have been cast for it, was also the first to be graphically horribly killed. And though I was practically first in line for each of the films in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I was distressed by its presentation of freaks. Not only are these outright monsters like distress, like the pig-faced cancerous orc captain who leads the assault on Gondor in the trilogy's final installment, but Gollum, whose wasted frame and gibbous cat eyes identify him as a freak, proves by the trilogy's end how dangerous identifying with the other can be.
What?
Bunch of word salad pretentious bullshit.
Can you repeat that again?
Okay. Similar. Okay. And though I was practically first in line for each of the films in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, I was distressed by its presentation of freaks.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are there outright monsters like the pig-faced cancerous orc who leads the assault on Gondor in the trilogy's final installment, but Gollum, whose wasted frame and gibbous cat eyes identify him as a freak, proves by the trilogy's end just how dangerous identifying with the other can be.
I still don't understand what the hell he's talking about.
Again, pretentious word salad bullshit with no substance whatsoever.
Basically,
that's not even a coherent sentence, as far as I'm concerned.
Basically, it says that because Gollum is a freak, it's danger. You can't really identify him, and that's what the trilogy is saying.
What?
Yeah, like you said, I perused by the trilogies
Essentially, what he's saying is that the Lord of the Rings, the moral of Lord of the Rings is that you should avoid people who look weird. That's what he's saying from my bullshit translator, at least.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. But yeah, if there's enough outcry, if there's enough requests for us to do Framing Monsters, maybe we'll do that.
No, laughing at that. Don't do that.
Why not?
I was gonna talk about my notes for for Phantom Menace when we get done with this.
Oh look, the film's moral calculus of Jurassic Park is designed.
Oh fuck's sake!
The measure of a man is his fidelity to fatherhood, and the punishments meted out to the male characters bear a direct relationship to that factor.
Fuck
come on. I'm talking about reading way too much into this shit.
Oh look, there's a thing that says Part 3, the one and only adult female human.
Okay, let's move on now. Let's move on, please. Move on.
Again, whoever wrote this has an IQ of 5 and thinks it's 500.
You assume too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I can take some more questions. I'm just gonna be. White can just roast my Doom Eternal play.
Damn. Hey, have you got my message from Discord?
Yes, I did. The White Dragon. I will rewatch. Nihilus Nihilus says I will rewatch The Phantom Menace and I will debate you on it.
Yay! I can't wait.
Oh, the funniest thing and he's been on stream before, so we just need to find a time. Apparently, oh yeah, Joshua David Bellin is an English teacher at a college.
Oh my god!
Somehow.
Yeah. So, and can you guess when this book was published?
No.
2005.
Yeah, copyright 2005. You were exactly right.
Wow. I will say I am kind of impressed with myself for that one.
Yeah, very impressive.
Even though it was just a random guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very surprised because it feels very current year crap. So.
Lustra, did you get my message too? I
Yeah, I did. I'm reading it right now.
Let's see.
I haven't finished the whole movie. I only got past the. Yeah, they just head back to Naboo. That's pretty much where I left off.
Oh wow, Oh, the challenges for this one are fairly easy.
They tend to be. I don't even do them. I just forget.
Well, I like to get the XP quickly, honestly, personally. Since
there's an easy cheese. Last time I remember, you know, when you finish Cultist base,
yeah,
like, if you kill yourself as you get on the train, it resets you, and it keeps completing the mission, and you keep getting a shit ton of XP.
Wow.
I have to look it up. Cultist base exploit. I don't know if it's still a thing.
Nice.
Should I talk about the notes you sent me here, White?
Yeah, if you want to. I'd be down.
Let's say it's a side note: 1 slave equals 1 pod racer. What's the point of that?
Oh, that was just that was a note for something that never really went anywhere.
Let's see, what cheat codes do I have active? Okay, I've got infinite ammo, infinite actualize. Maybe I'll just try and
sometimes I just write stuff down and then nothing really comes of it and I just leave it there.
Yeah. Let's do. What cheat code should I enter or should I not?
I never really use them.
Alrighty. I think like if there are any other questions in the chat, I'd be down to hear you guys.
Let's see. One on point number 8. Valorum is also Padme's only real ally in this, aside from Palpatine. Well, to her at least.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Dang. I'll let you guys go.
It's 1:30 for me.
Oh wow, it's 1:30. Okay. Well, one of white. I'll white caress me another time.
Huh?
White caress my Doom Eternal play ability some other time.
Damn.
But
yeah, most of these notes seem pretty legit.
Yeah, White's pretty good at this.
Once I actually sit down and actually start combing through things, I guess.
I look forward to seeing you post it in server.
I was thinking about doing it in replicas first.
Alrighty. Well, this has been fun. We will mostly be doing good stuff for the next few weeks. Hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully Wheel of Time is good. Hopefully. Yeah. Well, we will see you guys later. This has been fun.
Yeah.
But
Yay.
Yeah, including the framing monsters. Maybe we'll get back to that at another point in time. I'm not sure, but this man's insane.
Yeah, I am. Wait a minute.
Well, you're both. I've driven you to insanity. You're welcome, by the way. Yeah. I broke him.
It's like Fire Cannot Kill a Dragon as a whole was less ridiculously pretentious and cloud-brained than just these 2 lines from Framing Monsters. It's like the bar just seems to get lower and lower every time.
You're welcome.
It's
That's
like,
all because
is there no bottom for the bar?
Well, there's always the Rian Johnson saying, I want to get away from Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams pre-Last Jedi saying, you know what, I'm glad that the Force can be about anybody. That's what I like Star Wars being about. And then after that, it's like, no, like Rey and Kylo are both great because they're Force royalty.
Even though that was...
Rey is a Mary Sue because the Force likes her. That's how it goes.
Well, she's Force royalty because she's Palpatine's granddaughter.
No, like even in The Last Jedi, it's basically just, the Force likes you.
Yeah. And then Rise of Skywalker.
You're the second chosen one. You're chosen by the Force to be the embodiment of the light, to rise against the darkness and continue an endless cycle of merchandising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We're now pretty much done with Star Wars.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future. We have no idea when, like, the next thing is going to come up. Maybe we'll watch Mandalorian. Maybe we'll watch Mandalorian.
Oh, fuck you.
I love how the immediate reaction is screw you.
Mandalorian is pretty bad.
When it comes to Star Wars at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of the only thing we have, really.
Because like the whole point of me watching Phantom Menace is to shit on fucking Confused Matthew's god awful video.
Yeah, and he's done even worse videos. He's done even worse.
And I feel like this whole fucking thing, watch. I'm gonna end up. The video is gonna end up turning into a fucking review of the Phantom Menace by the end of it.
Probably,
and then it's gonna be like I'm gonna have to do all of the prequel movies. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, and even his review. His
Be
reviews of the other
prepared for
people's
Attack
are
of the
bad.
Clones, which has even more problems than the Phantom
Okay.
Menace.
And he does the even worse review of that movie.
His hatred for the movies blinds him.
Yeah, I don't even like
Your
these movies.
emotions are clouding your judgment.
He's not even doing it. Like these movies are terrible, but well, not.
Yes, they are. They're really bad.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. But
I
even
have
then,
to-
he's doing a terrible job of reviewing them.
Yeah, that's
man. There's some hot topic pirates over here.
Yep.
He's kind of like Replica, where even when he's right, he's really dumb about it.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Moving
should
in my
we just
mind.
wrap this up?
I want, yeah. We can have a chat offline, I guess.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank
Yeah,
you
sure,
guys. This has been fun.
Mm-hmm.
We will eventually do the Disney remakes, probably sometime next year, since we got a full schedule. Probably sometime between either that or Once Upon a Time. I'll do a poll. Either we do Once Upon a Time season 1, or we do the Disney remakes.
All right. See you all later. Farewell.
Bye-bye.